ready to see the shackles fall? Are you ready to see that prison door open? I promise you, if you'll start praising God right in the middle of it, I'm telling you, God will do a work. You say, but I don't feel like it. Don't wait till you feel like it. Let your feelings follow. I promise you, start praising Him, and then you'll start feeling like it. It just happens that way. They're not good leaders, but the feelings are great followers. Man, let your faith lead out.
For more teaching from David Jett, visit crossgates.org.
This is Central Mississippi's Stimulating Talk.
103.9 WYAB, Pocahontas, Jackson.
From ABC News, I'm Brian Clark. More than 60 million Americans are under flood watches from Ohio to Massachusetts and down to Virginia today. That follows a weekend of extreme weather. Record heat's blamed for more than 24 deaths in New Jersey over the weekend. ABC's Jim Ryan says that heat is heading to the Carolinas.
Millions will try to beat the heat with a box fan or ceiling fan. But the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention says that under some circumstances, that isn't a great idea. If room temperature rises above 90 degrees, according to the CDC, an electric fan can actually elevate the body's core temperature because it stops evaporating your perspiration.
President Trump will ring the opening bell at the New York Stock Exchange and NASDAQ today. He'll do it remotely from the Oval Office. It's to mark the start of the so-called Trump accounts, the investment accounts now available for children under 18. The president then departs for a NATO summit. ABC's Selena Wang has a preview.
President Trump leaves for the high-stakes NATO summit in Turkey, where he'll meet with world leaders on the wars in Iran and Ukraine. It comes as President Trump has been blasting our allies for not spending enough on their own defense and for refusing to get involved in the war in Iran.
The U.S. plays Belgium in a World Cup round of 16 game tonight, and top scorer Folarin Balogun can play after FIFA suspended his ban for a controversial red card. ABC's Sophie Flay has more.
Balogun's teammates are relieved, but other teams outraged by FIFA's decision.
It's a bad decision.
As for Belgium, who will now have to defend against Balogun tonight, their coach is mocking the decision, invoking April Fool's Day, saying, I didn't know that at the World Cup, the 5th of July is actually the 1st of April.
Sources tell ABC President Trump called FIFA's president and asked him to review the matter. There's no indication that led to a change in the decision. You're listening to ABC News.
Man, I love this place. I've been surfing here since I was a kid. Now, seeing my grandson out on the water, it means everything to me. Watching him and taking in the blue waves, the sea breeze, the blurry horizon.
If you have geographic atrophy, or GA, subtle changes in vision could mean it's progressing toward irreversible vision loss. Izervay is proven to slow GA progression and could help preserve your vision for longer, so you may keep seeing the world around you. Izervay, or avacincaptad pegol, is an eye injection. Don't take it if you have an infection or active swelling in or around your eye. Izervay can cause eye infection, retinal detachment, or increased risk of wet AMD. Izervay may cause blood in the white of the eye, blurred vision, or a temporary increase in eye pressure. Do not drive or use machinery until vision has recovered after an eye injection or exam. Ask your retina specialist how you can slow your GA with Izervay. To learn more, call 1-855-IZERVAY or go to izervay.com.
That comes with a 40% chance for afternoon storms. That chance this evening and tonight is 30% with a low at 73. Afternoon storms possible again Tuesday with a high at 91. With news on 103.9 WYAB, I'm Chris Davis. Lee County School District Superintendent Will Russell says the district will be monitoring the situation and has started the appropriate actions after Office of School Nutrition employee Sammy McLaurin was arrested and charged with grooming a child, which is a felony and means that a child was being being manipulated for possible sexual activity, according to police and prosecutors. Russell says there is not much they can say legally right now because it has become a personnel matter. The arrest happened in Lamar County, but authorities there have not been forthcoming with much information. A Sunday morning shooting in Jackson. JPD says it happened at Eminence Row and Newman Avenue. They are being rather tight-lipped about what went down, though. Police say they found shell casings and that the victim was in the hospital, but as far as the motive, that's what they're being tight-lipped about. 2 people killed, a third wounded in an argument at a club in Adams County, Independence Day morning. Sheriff Travis Patton says 32-year-old Randolph Hannon was shot and killed by 31-year-old Michael Miner Jr. It was caught on video, and that video, he says, shows 21-year-old Jaquavius Norman of Roxy shooting and killing Miner then. A bullet also hitting a woman in the face. She is in the hospital. Norman is under arrest. The union and the city of Jackson have been trying to negotiate to stop a J-Trans strike, but so far nothing has been settled. More news in 1 hour on 103.9 WYAB. I'm Chris Davis.
Where do you stand in the pro-life community? If you're passionate about protecting the sanctity of life from fertilization to natural death, please join us at Pro-Life Mississippi as we make a difference and save lives right here in our own state. Pro-Life Mississippi is a community of individuals dedicated to equipping others to value all human life, including the preborn, those with disabilities, and the elderly. Our mission is simple: to provide unwavering support, education, and advocacy for the preborn, their families, and other vulnerable children and adults. If you're just starting your pro-life journey or you have been an advocate of life for many years, Pro-Life Mississippi needs your voice and talents to save lives in Mississippi. Together, we can make a difference in building a stronger pro-life Mississippi. Learn more about us at prolifems.org. That's prolifems.org. Be part of the community that celebrates each and every human life.
The views and opinions expressed in this program are the individual views and opinions of the people expressing them and do not necessarily reflect those of this radio station, its parent, affiliated, or related entities, agents, or employees.
Welcome to the Chip Matthews Show, where politics meets the South. So grab your sweet tea, find a comfortable spot to sit back, and let's embark on this journey together. Chip away, jump away at the storm.
And good Monday morning. We made it through the weekend. We made it through the 4th of July celebration. We made it through Independence Day. Good morning to all of you. Good morning, Will Brown, Andy Devine, Vince Warren, Shane Easley, Jeff Thomas, Robert Kinney. Happy birthday, America. You know, it's Independence Day is what we just celebrated. The individual freedom of being an American. And then you hear these people that have come to the country from other countries that have been scared to come here. They said, man, I fear going to the World Cup. I fear going over there. And they got here and went, it's America. And I mean, he saw the good side of America. Which I guess if you come through worn, torn areas or places where everything else goes on and they slide us around the world about how it is here in America, you might feel a little standoffish, scared, going, why do I want to go there? But then, of course, once you visit, you're going, that guy from Germany that everybody's talking about who cried after getting offered a ride, which, you know, nowadays they tell you if you get offered a ride, make sure that they're not going to accost you, which you need to worry about that. But he got lucky. He got picked up and got a ride from point A to point B, and the Americans were so nice to him. There you go. America. That's what we are. America. You know, Hope everybody had a safe and happy 4th of July. Those that are listening to me this morning, I know that you made it through the weekend. We had a great weekend out at the reservoir. Of course, many, good morning, Phil Barlow. Many people out at the restaurant this past weekend kept going, why the hell there ain't no fireworks? Well, they did the fireworks on the weekend between Juneteenth and the 4th of July. Well, why would they do that? 4th of July fell on a Saturday. Good question. I mean, I have no answers for you. I have no answers for you on any of this. It's questions that I kept asking all along is why it'll cut down on traffic. The deal with celebration and the deal with events that are important to all is for everybody to get together in one place and celebrate America. Well, we don't want y'all in one place celebrating America. We don't want that. We're not going to be a party to that. Meanwhile, and it was all over the news, and we told you about it several times here. The only place that I know that was a freedom zone, an American zone on the 4th of July was Mother Mary there in Madison. She had a celebration at Strawberry Park. Well attended. People went. Celebrate America on America's birthday. Yeah, it's not that hard. It's not that hard. Good morning, Lloyd Travis. It's not that hard to want to align yourself with righteousness. It's not that hard for you to decide to be an American. You know, when you look at Trump, they're all going over there, the NATO conference thing there in Turkey. Meanwhile, they're having a funeral for the Ayatollah or whatever they call him, Khomeini, Mr. Khomeini, who we killed, 3 months ago. And of course, the son still has not been seen in public. But in a speech that one guy gave on news that I was watching on the news this morning, they're talking about death to Trump. It used to be death to America. All the Americans they wanted to kill. Now I'm trying to decide if the propaganda, if that's still the case, or the news sliding it to where we're just going to turn it into Trump. We're turning it into everybody wants to kill Trump. And, the funny thing about that is we don't act, our government and our people here in the United States, we don't care to, we act like we wouldn't care if he got assassinated. They say, everybody acts like, well, it's going to happen. If another country did it or somebody here did it, they just go, okay, great. Y'all, I support the president. I do. And this past weekend, we got in some Trump vodka. I put a post up online promoting Trump martinis and Trump Bloody Marys. Y'all, that post has gathered more hate than you can imagine. Now, the other thing is, many of those people that are hating on Trump vodka are hating on it only on the cause that with a bunch of anonymous people. So it's maybe just one person doing all the hating. Micah Gober, Gladstad had fireworks too on the 4th. There you go, Gladstad. Jump in there. Be American with your German name. Lukenstadt. Yeah. Sounds like the name of a prison in Germany, doesn't it? Gladstad. But anyway, I know how it all got started, and the Weisenbergers and the families that settled that area. And when they started doing their thing, Gladstad it was built just like America was built, the area. Then the crazy people took over and fought over how big it was going to be, this, that, and the other. We're going to do this. We're going to do that. But anyway, it's government. It's what goes on. It's growing. It's a great area. I have friends that are in leadership there that I trust are doing the right thing. So that's good. But as we look at the growth of America and the growth of everything around you and all the things, can you say that you enjoy what's going on around you? I mean, in Gladstad, you can actually say and see and say that my life is getting better here in Gladstad. If you lived in Madison, you'd say my life is getting better in Madison. Can you say that about too many other places in central Mississippi? How many places you can say that? Clinton is pretty much status quo. Brandon and Pearl are moving in the right direction, but it's still a slow move. It's starting to get bogged down with government bureaucracy as we get ready for the data centers to show up and everybody learning what's going on. And in Madison County, they're getting the data centers. Everywhere we get in the data centers, you got love and hate for them. And we all know from looking at the cell phone that you hold in your hands that sooner or later, everything that's inside that building at that data center will be stored in a cloud on a satellite in the sky, which will be in that satellite in the sky. It will be solar powered. It'll be up there and it'll move around the world. And we won't need these big buildings we're building right now. They will be obsolete. Sort of like the Univac, if y'all remember it. It was the one of the first computers out there. It was as big as, it was huge. And now it's, everything it could do, your phone can do. Your phone is actually more powerful than it was. But anyway, we'll be back with more. Good morning, Wade Grant. Good morning, all of you. Y'all check in. Tell me what your 4th was like. Let me know what's going on in the world. And let's see what's going to happen. By the way, America's playing Belgium tonight. And Trump got the whole team back together. International policy conversation. How about that? The whole team back together. Trump will win it all, and they'll put an asterisk on it. We'll be right back. Conversation. How about that? Trump will win it all.
1039 WYAB.
In the heart of rural America, we know the value of an honest day's work. While the big corporate brands focus on their stock prices, Outlaw Light is focused on you. We're an independent American brand built on resilience. We don't preach or teach, we just brew. That means a high-quality, 105-calorie light beer at a price that respects your hard-earned dollar. For the patriots, the dreamers, and the doers, America deserves a new light beer. Grab an Outlaw. It's darn good beer.
Hello, friends and neighbors. This is David Frederick. I'm here to tell you about the latest development here at Frederick Sales and Service in Brandon. In an effort to always bring you the very best brands, I am proud to announce that Frederick Sales and Service is Central Mississippi's newest dealer for Skag zero-turn mowers and products. We have deals on one of the industry's best brands of zero-turn mowers, Skag. You can buy now and pay later because 0% financing is also available at Frederick's. Come see our inventory. We're here serving you for over 3 decades in Brandon since 1993.
This is DeMario Davis from the New Orleans Saints. As a Brandon, Mississippi native, I've seen the positive effects Mercy House Adult and Teen Challenge has across the state. Help us restore broken families and fight against addiction by donating an unneeded vehicle, even if it doesn't run. Mercy House will pick it up for you. All paperwork is handled and you receive a tax deduction. Call 601-572-7296 or visit vehicledonationsms.com.
Thank you for helping us get our daddies back.
Venable Glass is your local glass expert, offering residential, automotive, and commercial glass. Venable Glass can do it all. Windshield repair, replacement of shower doors, mirrors, and everything in between. What sets Venable Glass apart from the rest? unmatched reliability, and customer service. Don't forget, tell your insurance company that you want to use Venable Glass. And remember, you do have a choice. Let Venable Glass work hard to earn your business. Call Venable's Ridgeland or Brandon locations today for a free estimate or visit venableglass.com.
Antique Mall of the South has 14,000 square feet of pristine, clean floor space. Home to beautiful, timeless antique treasures. Antique Mall of the South is open Monday to Saturday, 10 to 5. Check them out online at antiquemallofthesouth.com or go to the Antique Mall of the South Facebook page. You can also read the dozens of 5-star reviews online. Come see for yourself at Antique Mall of the South in Ridgeland. Now open Monday to Saturday, 10 to 5. That's Antique Mall of the South, Highway 51 in Ridgeland.
Bad decisions limit future options. Make enough bad decisions and you will destroy your life. Listen to The Flatline with your host, Rick Hughes, every Sunday morning at 8:30 a.m. here on 103.9 WYAB. Join us every Sunday for 30 minutes of inspiration, motivation, education, all without manipulation. That's The Flatline with Rick Hughes, heard here on 103.9 WYAB each Sunday morning at 8:30 a.m.
Dr. Mike Stonington here from Stonington Farm Grass-Fed Beef. Here in South Mississippi on Stonington Farm, our steers are grass-fed and grass-finished. No grain, no hormones, no antibiotics, no mRNA vaccines. Our grass-fed and grass-finished beef is straight from our farm to your table. Find us on Facebook, Instagram, and at StoningtonFarm.com. That's StoningtonFarm.com with 2 N's. And we deliver every 4 weeks to the Jackson area. We are the grass-fed difference.
Hey, Rankin County, swing by the locally owned and award-winning 042 Wine and Spirits on Highway 80 next to Sonny's Barbecue in Brandon today. We've got one of the largest selections around with over 200 bourbons and whiskeys to ignite your taste buds, more than 50 vodkas, 50-plus tequilas, 30-plus rums, and ready-to-drink cocktails, as well as premium scotches. And get this, we've got over 400 wines in stock for the perfect pairing anytime. Discover your new favorites today at 042 Wine and Spirits right next to Sonny's Barbecue, Highway 80. Cross Gates, Brandon.
Welcome back to the Chip Matthews Show, and here is your host, Chip Matthews.
6:21 a.m. on a Monday morning here in America, in Dixieland, where I stand. Good morning, J.C. Dunn. Look, is Obama one of daughters change her last name? I wouldn't doubt it. I know I would. You know. But anyway, I was looking online here, and it's on the Beethoven's page where everybody has been going nuts over the Trump vodka. It says that World Chocolate Day is in one day. So we'll be celebrating World Chocolate Day early. We'll start today on World Chocolate Day Eve, and you can come by today or tomorrow and enjoy something made with chocolate on World Chocolate Day and the day before. And then, of course, you can come out tonight for the and watch the little soccer game, the football game, as they call it. In other countries, they call it football, which we know it's really not football, it's soccer. But anyway, y'all come on out and check it out. Belgium versus USA tonight, 7 o'clock is the, I guess, is it a kickoff? Well, anyway, it's tonight. Come check it out. So, so how do y'all feel today? How does everybody feel? 8 people pulled from the water at Ross Barnett Reservoir after their boat sunk. Reservoir police said the rescue was captured on camera. Y'all, this past weekend, every time I saw something bad going on and things where people needed to help other people, there were more people standing around with cameras looking at it and filming it than helping the situation. And I find that just, I mean, is going viral that important to everybody? Is it that important to videotape something rather than help everybody out there? I watch it and I just go, what the hell? What the hell? Okay. And then of course, y'all, John Horn is urging residents to reject violence and choose peaceful conflict resolution. If you are thinking about picking up a gun, stop. the mayor said, pleading last week. The mayor of Jackson got into office almost a year ago, right? Or whatever. Yeah, that's about right. Yeah, about a year ago. Or it is a year. And he just now finding out of the violence that was going on in his place. And he's been in politics for 33 years. And he's just now finding out that Jackson has a problem. And the police chief of Jackson, y'all, I don't know if she's doing what she's doing. And then, of course, there are some people that are in conflict saying, all she does is a press conference, which I've been one that has said that myself. But, there's a point where you're saying you're doing something and your butt's out there, that people have to start recognizing that you're out there, because if you're out there in there, you just can't go out and lie every day, although many Democrats do, and act like it doesn't go on. But the violence is out there, and it's knee deep. And, and I've been hard on the new police chief, but then again, you gotta put a team together. You gotta put a plan together. She wasn't from here. She came out of nowhere. Now she's been firing some people and this, that, and the other at JPD. Well, the results is still waiting to be found out. But if you really think about the hierarchy of what they had to deal with there in Jackson and what was going on, first off, if you arrest somebody and you go to the district attorney, can you put them in jail? Until Jody Owens resigned, there are people that are working at the DA's office that are prosecuting people. But before that, it was his call, wasn't it? Was it his call? And you could buy justice? People are saying, everything ran pretty smooth. They're covering up something. But y'all, if you can be compromised with money on your values and belief, you've got to know that murderers that are out on the streets in Jackson and still been picking up people there had to be some looking the other way from time to time. And who has the money to do that? Big time drug dealers. Good morning, Ricky Gray. Big time drug dealers. And you go, well, they're Mississippi drug dealers. Well, that's probably some of the biggest in the country. These big shipments that you see get popped all the time riding through town, hey, big time drug dealers. And we don't think about it that way. We got all the human trafficking that goes on in Mississippi that Lynn Fitch keeps saying is a giant problem. But then nobody speaks of the kids that were being trafficked out of Pontywood School to Epstein Island. Nobody speaks on that in government. And people had to know. Too many people have been in office for entirely too long to not be in the know of what was going on. We got too many people who have been in office 30 years or been in politics 30 years in the area. And they don't, and everybody acts like they don't know and they don't talk about it. Yet when the research was done on where kids were being paid for to go to school, those schools, they ponied up, said, yeah, Epstein was paying for this person to go to school here. They didn't deny it. And that's what you should do. You should step up and say it. I guess in some ways people thought that people would hide from that. But the fact of the matter is, if drug dealer's buying milk from you at your store for his baby, you're still going to sell him the milk. That's just the way it is. Nothing wrong. It's not, and it's not your place to decide that if the justice is not going to be in place to protect people or prosecute people that need to be prosecuted. What do we do? What do we do when we're looking at the crimes and the criminals and what's going on? I mean, the kid you got the 18-year-old that was in jail this past week, committed murder a week before, allegedly. He had not been convicted of it, but allegedly. And the TikTok video is out there online of him getting murdered in jail. He was murdered in jail. Y'all, he's gone to a place that's supposed to make us feel safe. And very much so. I mean, sometimes when a murderer gets murdered in jail, we think that that's justice. But the reality is it's not justice. It's not the way the system's supposed to work. You're also, when you go to jail, it's almost like if you went to jail, you should be in a safer place than out here on the streets where we are, where the safe people are supposed to be. Because when they pick you up, they want to prosecute you, let you do your time, and let you go home. But mostly we use the prison system you can go home if you got some money. If you can give us some money in the government, we'll take some money and we'll let you go. And, I may be looking at that completely wrong, but that's what justice is what you can pay for it. And that's what's happening. I mean, Epstein was able to take kids out of Mississippi from a school, and everybody involved could pay their way for everything. So that's not a crime that's going to be looked at and prosecuted and figured out what exactly was going on. You don't hear anybody talking about any of that. Meanwhile, these kids and these people that are getting arrested in Jackson that need to be arrested and put in jail, the ones that get out are backed by finances of drugs. People get them out. They got to have these bonds, and they want low bonds. And the judges give them low bonds, and they get out on whatever they're doing. Now, the guy, I believe, that was murdered did not have a bond. And you have the lawyers screaming up and down, this guy should have had a bond. Well, his bond should have been so high, he probably couldn't afford it. But that's not our place to get involved in that. That's not it. He should have had a bond, they say. Well, quit committing murder. Quit committing murder. We'll be back with more right here on the Chip Matthews Show on WYAB. Quit committing murder. Quit committing murder. We'll be back with more.
1039 WYAB.
Acme Pizza and Daiquiris is leveling up. A whole new Acme Pizza and Daiquiris is now open at the Reservoir at Beethoven's Boardwalk in Ridgeland, right next door to Cock of the Walk. And the new Acme Pizza and Daiquiris will have all of your old favorites too, like the Acme Dynamite Balls and Garlic Knots, and the best specialty pizzas ever, like the Pig, the Sergeant Pepperoni, the Serpent Turf, and lots more. Come to the all-new Acme Pizza and Daiquiris location on the Res in Ridgeland, next door to Cock of the Walk.
Hi, folks. Kim Wade here. Mississippi Energy Services provides generators. That's right. You may not need it now, but when you need backup power, you need a backup power generator from Mississippi Energy Services. Never again have to worry about being without heat, air conditioning, or all your frozen items spoiling because your energy was lost. You got backup power now, and it's so reliable. You'll be pleased with Mississippi Energy Services. Online at msenergy.us.
A funny thing happens to a lot of men. One day you're the guy carrying the ice chest, loading the truck, and helping everybody move. Then one day, you're looking for a place to sit down. If your energy, focus, and drive aren't what they used to be, talk to Live Better Men's Health and Wellness. Real answers, personalized treatment, a better way forward. Living better starts at livebettermen.com. That's livebettermen.com.
ABC News, I'm Brian Clark. After days of dangerous heat, large parts of the country now dealing with heavy rains and strong storms. ABC's Jaysha Patel's in Hoboken, New Jersey.
We've been dealing with these thunderstorms for a couple of days now, since at least Friday, and it has impacted NJ Transit service. That severe weather has brought down trees and knocked out power for many people in our area. And the Friday night storm brought down around 60 trees, which affected NJ Transit service. So crews have had to clean up storm debris on those tracks, and they're also working to get service back up and running.
The heat's still high in parts of the South over the next few days. President Trump leaves today for what could be some tense meetings with fellow NATO leaders this week in Turkey. He's also expected to meet with Ukraine's president. At least 12 people were killed overnight in new Russian attacks on Kyiv. In Utah, prosecutors will start laying out some of their case against the man accused of killing Charlie Kirk in a mini trial. This is
Hi, this is Allen Allen, nurse practitioner at the MEA Medical Clinic in Flora, Mississippi. Located in the Cotton Exchange Plaza, we're here to provide patient-centered care that is thorough, compassionate, and convenient. Whether you need primary care services or same-day medical care when you aren't feeling your best, we're here to support your health.
MEA Medical Clinics.
Yazoo Valley Electric Power Association wants you to stay away from downed power lines. Downed power lines carry the risk of deadly electric shock, even if the broken wire is not sparking. If a wire is crossing a road or driveway, avoid the area and keep others away. If you see a downed power line, back away and call your utility company or 911. When you call, be prepared to provide the specific address or location of the downed power line so a repair crew can get there as quickly as possible. This safety message brought to you by Yazoo Valley Electric Power Association.
When Second's making a play, Short's got to cover.
A winning insurance strategy doesn't rely on one person.
Good hustle, good hustle.
Communicate with your guys and make sure everyone's in the right coverage. It takes a team that knows its roles well, working together to provide an exceptional experience.
Set the screen. You have to protect yourself.
1, 2, 3, Wildcats!
At Shelter Insurance, you can count on our local agents and award-winning customer service to help you protect what matters most.
Come see me, Jamie Creel, at Shelter Insurance and see why Forbes has rated us #1 in the world.
Welcome back to the Chip Matthews Show, and here is your host, Chip Matthews.
It is the most important part of your radio. WYAB. Yes, sir. 6:36 in the morning, and you're getting up and you're getting ready on a Monday morning. Another hot day here in America and Mississippi. It's a cultural reset that was orchestrated and built at the highest levels of government. We are seeing it now, and what most aren't aware of is that we have Muslim culture / drug dealers. Robert Kinney. Yeah, you are absolutely correct. You know, the Muslim aspect of America, of what's going on, you know, it's one of those things that, as a Baptist, you know, my grandmother used to say, you got to worry about them Muslims. Got to worry about them Muslims. You know, and that was, 50 years ago? That she was telling me that. And then now we've got this Muslim thing going on here in America. And Madami, of course, cannot ever be a president of the United States, but he can be the mayor of New York City. And the situation is the rise of that culture is instigated, and I believe it's instigated some by our good friend here in the state of Mississippi, Benny Thompson. You never see him waving the red, white, and blue flag and holding a Bible in his hand saying, God bless America. You just don't see it. You never see him take a stand that he's an American and he's a Christian. You just don't see it. I mean, correct me if I'm wrong. Put a picture up, put a post up, put something up to tell me that something different has occurred. But I don't see him standing up for America or Mississippi. And he rides around this state at election time handing out checks like it's I went and got you this money. No, you paid taxes. And the socialism for the entire state of Mississippi that's perpetuated by, one, you and the Democrats and the Republican rhinos of Mississippi have begged and borrowed from the federal government until you have every dollar you can from them. And you go, well, Chip, why are you getting mad? We're able to bring more economic dollars to Mississippi. We send $1 up there, we get $2 back, $2.30, something like that. We get it back. That's a great thing. No, it's not. It's the welfare state of Mississippi. It's how many people, like we send $1 and you get $2 back. But at the same time, let's look at it this way. How many people don't send a single dollar and sit at their house at the end of the year and you're paying taxes, but somebody down the road, is getting their check. And one of the tax agencies has made sure, they're sitting there going, I'm waiting on my tax return check. And they get a tax return check for, some of them tens of thousands of dollars. And only because they didn't work. And because they were a part of the Benny Thompson plan of, I will get you a house. You just have babies. I'll get you a house. I'll get you some food money. I'll get you some water. I'll pay you utility bills. I'll put a cell phone in your hand. It's socialism, people. We're paying for it. And the Muslims out there, they kind of like that idea. And, this whole world we live in that we just celebrated as America and the independence of America and being all about yourself and then uniting ourselves. I mean, the individual rights is independence. That's what Independence Day means. It means you have independent rights. And allegedly, if the system works right, they'll respect those rights. Okay? But when they don't respect those rights, that's the beginning of corruption in America. So when you go to court, you're supposed to have your day in court, and you're innocent until proven guilty, and this, that, and the other. All those things are part of America's fabric. But when the system that you go before is corrupt, and it's usually corrupt because of money, sometimes it's because of hate. But with the Muslim religion being a part of it now, that's we hate America and Americans, and we want them gone, is what the Muslims want. And that's amazing to me that we don't realize that. It's amazing to me that, and I have some Muslim friends that I would call Muslims. They're not all a radical, but there's some aspects of it that don't seem right. Not for an American. Not if you're going to be a real American. And these people coming and seeing America, and they come here and they go, God, this is the greatest place in the world. When they come from other countries, they come here and they say, you're free to do this. You can walk, you can go from this state to the next state, which have different laws per state, but you can walk around America. You can, in some places it's not safe to, but yeah, you can do what you want to in America. You have freedom. You have independence. And if you come to visit our country, we prefer you to visit and then go home, unless you want to move here. And then if you want to move here, there's a process. There's a process. So, it's like Trump tells you, illegals in the country, we need to get you out. Sorry, got to get you out. If you don't, I know many, many, many illegals that get into the country are transformed and want to stay. They want to stay. And some of them would probably be better Americans than the Americans we have here. But we're a nation of laws, and we need to follow those laws in order to make the place a better place and to keep it America. I mean, that's why when you go to the city of Madison, the laws are enforced there. So the city is pristine. The city is loved. The city is what all cities want to be known as. The government there seems to work. You know, it may have some flaws in it here and there, but for the most part, when you go to Madison, the city, you go, wow, this is a great place. And that's the way it should be all over America. That's the way it should be all over Mississippi. On central Mississippi, you would think kinetically, just because you're connected to Madison, that Canton would be better, that Gluckstadt is better, Ridgeland would be better, Jackson would be better. But it's not that way, y'all. Somehow we missed the boat, and that's because we don't have leadership in these other communities. We have some groups that think they're leadership, and all they're doing is following their mayor. Whether their mayor's right or wrong, they don't care. You know, we got to come around, and we need to do everything in the correct way. We need to think about everything. After exposing our MSGOP leadership, Barber and Lott have supported Benny Thompson. Now I want to ask, why aren't our MSGOP representatives stopping this giveaway to outsiders? Shad tried. Boom. That's exactly right. The MSGOP is got some issues inside of it. Yeah. We don't have anybody that wants to push an American value, an American agenda on America. You know, you have a fractured Republican Party and we're going to find out what's going on soon, because the question is, are you for Delbert? Is Delbert going to be able to make a run? Or are you against Delbert? Which part of the party is going to allow that to happen? And, you know, Delbert was able to win this last one over a true conservative, and many, many, many people questioned it, knowing that, you know, he was going to go into office and he was going to appoint Democratic leadership throughout the government, and he did. He did exactly what the conservatives said he was going to do. He did it exactly that way. So now you're looking at him thinking about it. He's got to sit in the big chair. He wants to sit in the big chair. And will the political pundits that have propped him up for years allow him to do that? Is he owed that? Is he owed some favor? I mean, if you look at things, a lot of this political good old boy system of Mississippi is people propping people up. And you know, you'll go see the news, and they'll say something bad about something someday, and then the next day when you go back and cut it on, I mean, it can be 30 minutes later when you see it at the 4 o'clock news, and about 4:30, 5 o'clock, they have scrubbed that news, and we're talking about some place where they're handing out food or water, and the politics and corruption has been hidden. I wonder what that costs, or is it free to get the news agencies to cover up? But y'all, the covering up of everything going on, when we know that I saw on TV where they were talking about a rape, and yet we rarely hear about those abuses that go on in Jackson. You only hear about the murders, and somebody got shot, and they never go through the shots. They never go through that. That's just something that happens. But you know, the assaults are going on. You know, there are things that go on that don't involve gunfire. There's knivings, the knives everywhere. There's just people being beat up everywhere. Then you got a person that's in jail that gets murdered in jail, and that's, I mean, that hit the news, and then poof, it's gone. And look, the video popped up on my screen, and I wanted, and nothing against the people that run the jail, this, that, and the other, but does everybody in jail have a phone? Every time something happens out there, you see it, And then, of course, anybody that wants to break out can get out. What the hell goes on? Why do we spend money and you take our tax dollars to run these things and you say we don't have enough? And that's because everybody steals all the money before it gets there. But why can't we put somebody in jail and they be safe in jail until their day in court? And then once they get, once you get convicted in Mississippi, the next thing you do, you're only going to do 20 or 30% of your time. You never do the full ride. You know, this person got instant justice. And the next question on that is, did somebody pay somebody to kill? I mean, you know, people don't just do things for free around here. Nobody does anything for free around here. Interesting. Just a thought. Just a thought. We'll be back with more right here on the Chip Matthews Show on WYAB. Interesting. Just a thought. Just a thought. We'll be back with more right here.
1039 WYAB.
In the heart of rural America, we know the value of an honest day's work. While the big corporate brands focus on their stock prices, Outlaw Light is focused on you. We're an independent American brand built on resilience. We don't preach or teach, we just brew. That means a high-quality, 105-calorie light beer at a price that respects your hard-earned dollar. For the patriots, the dreamers, and the doers, America deserves a new light beer. Grab an Outlaw. It's darn good beer.
Managing payroll, benefits, workers' comp, and HR tasks can take valuable time away from running your business. That's where People Lease comes in. From payroll processing and tax filing to employee benefits and retirement plan administration, People Lease helps simplify your back office operations while improving employee satisfaction. Spend less time on paperwork and more time growing your business. Schedule your consultation today at peoplelease.com. That's peoplelease.com.
Greetings. I'm Dr. Benny Tate, president of the Congregational Methodist Church denomination in Florence, Mississippi, and the pastor of Rock Springs Church in Milner, Georgia, inviting you to attend one of our services this week. Find a church near you at cm-church.org and be sure and listen for our weekly program, Apples of Gold from Rock Springs Church, here on 1039 WYAB.
Sundays, 7:30 and 10.
Need to ship something fast, print something now, or wrap the perfect gift? Head to the Mailroom Gluckstadt, your one-stop shop for all major shipping carriers. We pack and ship with care, offer private mailbox rentals, copy services, create and print banners, print your photos, lamination, binding, and secure document shredding. We always have a notary available, and we do gift wrapping too. Head to the Mailroom Gluckstadt across from Callaway's or online at mailroomgluckstadt.com. Stop in today and get it all done in one place.
Ken here with Rapid Oil Change, your fast service and fleet maintenance headquarters for over 40 years. With parts in stock to fit most makes and models, we can perform routine maintenance in a matter of minutes, keeping downtime to a minimum. With brands like Castrol, Mobile One, Lucas, and Rain-X, it's easy to see why Rapid Oil Change has been the go-to for fast service with a smile for over 40 years. Don't forget our 24/7 touchless car wash. We accept most national and local fleets. We're Mississippi's leader for fast service with a smile. Visit one of our 6 locations today, oilchangems.com.
Need equipment that works as hard as you do? Come see me, Noah Sullivan, at H&H Chief Sales in Carthage. Thousands of you have already made the short drive to see us at H&H for the state's best deals on CM truck beds, Big Tex trailers, Wells Fargo enclosed trailers, and even rugged Candy electric utility vehicles. At H&H, our equipment is built for the farm, job site, hunting camp, or anywhere around your property. So visit me, Noah Sullivan, at H&H Chief Sales on Highway 35 North in Carthage, or online anytime at hhchiefsales.com.
What are people saying about Tom's Fried Pies in Richland?
Tom's Fried Pies. And I made the mistake. I ordered one pie. I figured, you know what? I'll try Tex-Mex. It was so good. Man, second go round, I ate the pecan pie. You will need a meat pie and a dessert one. Get both because they are off the hook.
I went to Tom's Fried Pies today, and I'm going back. I tried the taco one, really good. When I go back, I'll bring some home.
Tom'sFriedPies.com.
Upgrade your yard this season with Hometown Hardware and Grasshopper. Hometown Hardware in Flora is now a proud Grasshopper mower dealer. Own a Grasshopper, own Mow Day. Hometown Hardware also has a great selection of outdoor power equipment from trusted names like Steel and Milwaukee, as well as Hustler. And don't forget, Hometown Hardware is your garden soil, potting mix, fertilizer, and pine straw headquarters. Hometown Hardware on Highway 49 in Flora.
Welcome back to the Chip Matthews Show, and here is your host, Chip Matthews.
It is the Chip Matthews Show, heard all around the world and even in your neighborhood right here on WYAB and also on the interwebs and on the WYAB.com app, wherever you are. If you're going, hey, I have trouble picking it up, you just go to the WYAB.com and you can pick it up even in Hollywood, California. Yeah. For those of you, and there were many people that were listening to me in New York City this past week. They went up there to look at the tall ships as they came through the going up the Hudson. That's always a big thing at this time of year, or the 4th of July celebrations. The tall ship show. Yeah. Somebody here, let's see, the Culture Shock Entertainment Report podcast says Delbert Hoseman, number 1, Andy Gibson, number 2, Lynn Fitch, number 3 are their choices, and they like Philip Gunn, and I need to research billionaire Thomas Duffy. Well, y'all, I would say there's no way that Delbert, Andy, and Lynn and Philip can all be governor. And there's no way in hell that the MSGOP is going to let all 4 of them run against each other. It's just not going to happen because the system is in place to where we had all Republican leadership from the top to the bottom, all the way down to dog catcher. And that's what they want. I didn't see Shad White's name mentioned in that at all. And Shad's been an outlier, but Shad may be what the people like, you know? And as you look at this and you look at the people, I mean, Lynn Fitch has run for office several times and many times just puts elect Lynn Fitch on the sign because she doesn't know what the GOP wants her to run for yet. So it doesn't say her for lieutenant governor or treasurer or any of the other things because she's marking time and she marches to their drums and does what they want her to do. And then when she gets in office, she doesn't change the election crimes. Y'all, there were so many election crimes that took place that she did not get involved in. And the Secretary of State's office, you know, you got to worry about, you know, Michael Watson's going to want to be somewhere in the government. And, you know, he's talking about lieutenant governor, I think. But the reality is, you know, he didn't want to get involved in election crime. Nobody wants to get involved with cleaning up the problems that we have in Mississippi state government. Nobody, except some outsiders that are running. I think Corinthian Sanders wants to clean some of these things up. But my question is, why does the government not want to fix itself in Mississippi? I mean, when we look at the legislature, they go, okay, we've been without a ballot initiative for 8 years. We could get Chip to shut up and everybody that bothers us to shut up if we just give them back the ballot initiative. Are you scared we're going to change the way the government works? Well, that's what the people are for. The people are for change. The people are the ones that are allowed to fix something that's broke when y'all don't have the balls or the spine to do it yourself. And that's what we need here in Mississippi and in America. We need people that don't want to continue to go down the path that is not working. You think that just because we got air conditioning, which is slowly taken away from us with no power and no air and with all these data plants when all the power gets sucked out. But when we start doing without air conditioning, it's going to be just like Jackson and all over. On a hot day, there are going to be murders everywhere. And, you know, they'll be coming for you because we ain't living without air conditioning in Mississippi. We're not. And when you cut off our air on a Tuesday morning at 9:00 in the morning for no apparent reason, you got the electricity cut off, but the data center is still pumping. I mean, I talk to people all the time that live near the data center that are saying, we're without electricity again. we're without electricity again. Y'all, something don't sit right with me on all this stuff. And I know I'm crazy. I know I'm stupid. I know I'm ignorant. I'm dumb. I'm not liked. I'm crazy. Hell, that makes me a politician, doesn't it? That could win. But anyway, that's just, it's awful. I wonder if your listeners are aware that Jody Owens and Scott Cullum running for CHS seats are both BLM supporters and paid for elections by George Soros. Our state has 2 Soros-bought DAs. I bet he owns more than that. George Soros' money is everywhere, but you don't want it to be. Anyway, that's going to do it for me, Chip Matthews. The Chip Matthews show is about to end, but I'm not going anywhere today. Yes, that's correct. I'll be sitting in for the Clay Edwards show. So we'll continue the conversation on the other side of everything going on right here on WYAB. What does it say? Lynn Fitch is the queen of Mama Hamels. Nah, I wouldn't say that. I would not say that. But I will say that she's got some good people working for her that are good PR people for her. But I don't think she does them any justice. But anyway, 6:59, the news is next right here on WYAB. I don't think she does them any justice. But anyway, 6:59, the news is next right here on WYAB.
This is Central Mississippi's Stimulating Talk.
1039 WYAB, Pocahontas, Jackson.
From ABC News, I'm Brian Clark. President Trump will ring the stock exchange opening bell from the Oval Office today. It'll be to mark the start of the so-called Trump accounts, the new tax advantage investment accounts. Then he makes a crucial overseas trip, says ABC's Stephen Portnoy in Washington.
Tonight, the president will fly in the new Air Force One overseas for the first time, heading to a 2-day NATO summit in Turkey. The White House says the president will continue pressing European leaders to spend more of their own money on defense as Trump considers a further drawdown of U.S. troops based in Europe. While in Ankara, he'll also meet with Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky, who's seeking more American Patriot missile interceptors to fend off Russian attacks.
And those Russian attacks have ramped up. Ukrainian officials say at least 18 people were killed in overnight strikes, 12 of them in the capital, Kyiv. The president may have also showed his influence on the World Cup. Sources confirm he spoke with FIFA's president leading up to FIFA's Sunday decision to allow the USA's top goal scorer, Valarin Balogun, to play in tonight's round of 16 game against Belgium. ESPN analyst Hercules Gomez is a former U.S. national team member.
FIFA's not admitting they made a mistake. They're not admitting that the referee on the field made a mistake and gave the player a red card when it shouldn't have been a red card. The red card hasn't been rescinded. What's going on here is they're suspending the suspension.
Other countries, including Belgium, have objected. More than 60 million people in the Northeast under a flood watch as extreme heat moves into the Carolinas. It was deadly over the weekend. And ABC's Jim Ryan says the first signs of trouble are muscle spasms and cramps.
Heat exhaustion brings heavy sweating and dizziness. Stay in the heat and confusion can set in.
That confusion could be a symptom of heat stroke, which is an emergency. That is the time to call 911 or get someone to emergent care immediately without delay.
ABC News medical contributor Dr. Alok Patel. On average, extreme heat kills twice as many Americans every year as the next deadliest weather threat.
You're listening to ABC News.
A small business affirmation from Progressive. Bakery owners, you will be loved today. Every pastry will be flaky. Your cake will make a child's day. Your delivery van won't get sideswiped by a distracted garbage truck driver. But if so, breathe easy, knowing you'll get back to business quickly with Progressive protecting your commercial auto. See if you can save in as little as 8 minutes at progressivecommercial.com.
Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates.
Veterans and active duty service members. When your call to service ends, your mission doesn't have to. Go from GI to IT in just a few months at My Computer Career. Prepare for a high-demand career in cybersecurity, protecting people, systems, and institutions from real cyber threats. Cyber warriors are needed now. Will you answer the call? Go to mycomputercareer.edu/CWP to learn more. That's mycomputercareer.edu/CWP, an elite CompTIA certification partner. VA education benefits are available.
News this hour, brought to you by Frederick Sales and Service in Brandon.
and Skag zero-turn mowers and products. Simply the best.
Working to stop a potential strike. This afternoon, you have a 40% chance for thunderstorms with a high at 90. The chance for storms tonight is 30% with a low at 73. Afternoon storms are possible again Tuesday with a high at 91. Afternoon storms again Wednesday. You've got news on 103.9 WYAB. I'm Chris Davis. People who use JTRAN may need to prepare just in case Jackson City leaders and the union that represents the bus drivers cannot get a deal worked out this week. The city is already on a 30-day notice for a potential strike, with the union seeing possible cuts to services and route eliminations as a threat to the livelihood of drivers. A person was shot Sunday morning in Jackson, but no arrest has been announced, and JPD is not discussing a motive. The shooting was at Eminence Row and Newman Avenue. Police acknowledged the shooting and that shell casings were found as evidence, but have not said how the victim is doing. Leake County Schools employee Sammy McLaurin was arrested in Lamar County last week on a charge of child grooming, meaning police and prosecutors believe a child was being manipulated for sexual purposes. The school district superintendent, Will Russell, says they cannot make much comment for now, but that they are monitoring and have started appropriate action. Choppers are being used, as well as boats from the Department of Marine Resources and the United Cajun Navy, to search for 18-year-old Nolan Xavier Wells, who was last seen Saturday afternoon on Horn Island, says Jackson County Sheriff John Ledbetter. They are searching the east end of the island, but have not been able to say for sure whether that was the last place he was seen. Post-Independence Day weekend, Mississippi's gas average at $3.36, says Gas Buddy. More news in 1 hour on 103.9 WYAB. I'm Chris Davis.
Doctor, AC doctor, what's your diagnosis? My whole house was hot as a fever. Now my house is frozen, 'cause my air conditioner's on. Doctor, my AC's broken. Doctor, the AC doctor, he healed my house, bless my soul.
The AC Doctors is your one-stop provider for air conditioning and heating installation, service, and repair. Contact us for money-saving repairs and lower energy bills.
Doctor, the AC doctor, he healed my house, bless my soul.
Google the AC Doctors and get some relief today. TheACDR.com.
The views and opinions expressed in this program are the individual views and opinions of the people expressing them and do not necessarily reflect those of this radio station, its parent, affiliated, or related entities, agents, or employees.
Welcome to the Clay Edwards Show. More adrenaline.
You know, it's a pretty interesting time to be alive. What's the saying? May the times you live in be interesting. We have accomplished that.
More testosterone for your morning drive.
But when you know you've got a problem, how about tell people and be honest? What's going on?
Going to war on cancel culture and bringing the spotlight on issues and topics from around the city of Jackson.
I feel like Jackson, Mississippi.
No one else wants to talk about.
The whole system is corrupt and evil. It's unreal, and they don't care. And everybody knows that. It's just sad.
And fights for the soul of America.
I'm going to need y'all to explain to me what a positive solution is, because you positive solutions only people have been in charge for a while now. And I'm not seeing too many positive solutions.
You never met a motherfucker.
Strap in, turn up the volume, and get ready, Jackson, for unfiltered, no sugar added talk radio. It's award-winning podcaster Clay Edwards.
Good morning. It's the Chip Matthews Show, filling in for the Clay Edwards Show right here on WYAB. And I'm using the old Chat GPT and looking at some things. Y'all, Jackson in June had 11 homicides by neighborhoods. That's just Jackson now. And so far this year, in July, in this month, they have 2. And so that's 42 through the end of June. So plus those 2 would be 44. And then for the statewide statistic, 44 homicides year to date in Jackson and individual cities, not verified. No, there's not a verified statewide total yet. Interesting. But they said the cities that have significantly high murders include Gulfport, Hattiesburg, Meridian, Tupelo, and others have their own counts. Interesting. I mean, we know Yazoo City's had murders. We know of Indianola having murders, Greenville, Greenwood, a lot of the world of the Benny Thompson district. And then, of course, they've spilled over out of the Benny Thompson districts in the other part of Mississippi, murders everywhere. I mean, what's going on? Why does this keep happening? Anybody want to volunteer to help us at the clinic this morning? I guess there's a lot of extra animals there at the clinic this morning there in Canton at the Canton Animal Clinic is what I'm seeing there on that text. Yeah, and animals everywhere. It's been amazing. I've been seeing these trucks everywhere that air conditioned trucks that are full of animals. You know, I'm talking about pets, those kind of animals. There must be a lot of animals that have run scared from the fireworks and this, that, and the other during the holiday season. But you also have all this other stuff going on out there that is just not looked at. You know, it's like I saw on TV the bears that have been out everywhere, and everybody's going, bears? Well, lions, tigers, and bears. At least we hadn't seen lions and tigers yet, unless your kitty cat got out. But the bears have been coming out of the woods, and they may be going, why are they coming out of the woods? Because of water. The water gets high, and they get going. They get to moving. And we got more water and flooding in north of us. So what does that mean? It'll float down here. The ground has been so saturated lately that the water, whenever it rains, like in Canton, I watched a ditch fill up 6 feet deep in no time. Yes, the other day when we had sporadic rain throughout town. You know, thank God it didn't rain on the side at the reservoir, but it did in Canton while I was there, and I was like, holy cow, it's coming down in buckets. But, you know, the weather is something that we have to deal with. The murders are something we don't have to deal with. We can't control the weather, although allegedly they say, some people say we're trying. But we can't control the murders. You know, the weatherman, they spend so much time now on weather and weather people on air, and they sit there and they used to, weather was a quick thing. It was like, you know, 4 minutes of the news? We hadn't had a 4-minute weather forecast in 100 years. I mean, a weather forecast is going to be 10 minutes of the news. And then you got another 4 or 5 minutes of commercials, right? Okay, maybe 6 minutes of commercials. That gives a little bit for an opening, blah, blah, blah. One hit on the sports. They don't hit the sports at all. Then one on the how good the government's being to us on some project that they're doing, and then they're out. That's a whole newscast, Mississippi. No news. Prayers for our pets and animals, plus everyone. Deers come out, often in the Norwood subdivision area of Lake Hyco. Pray no bears. When Lake Hyco was operating, alligators would come out. Yeah, I've seen a few alligators out our way at the reservoir. And then, of course, you see the big old snakes and all of that. It's called life. It's called they were here before us, and they ain't gone nowhere. We didn't eradicate them. You know, they're doing what they're doing, just like the crime. We're not eradicating the crime. These criminals are out there everywhere, and we're not doing anything about them. You know, we're just standoffish. You know, I can remember when a snake was in your yard, you know, that thing didn't make it back out of the yard when I was growing up. Shovel, hoe, whatever. And, you know, there are good snakes and bad snakes out there. But, I mean, any snake, to some people, that thing needed to go. You know, that was just the way it was. Snake needed to go. But now a criminal, if we put it, we would need justice on criminals and we put them in jail, we give them low bonds, they just disappear off the face of the earth. Wonder how many people, I wonder how many fugitives we have out there on people that were given bonds that never showed back up for court here in Mississippi. And then how many of those people when they knew they weren't going to come, did the paperwork just get lost or disappear? I know that there's some cities that should be in trouble, and for providing cash bonds to people. They say you got to pay a cash bond, and all the paperwork disappears after they pay the cash. That goes on. It goes on with Hispanics in one city in Madison County. I wonder what city that is. You know, the whole system is just corrupt, and nobody wants to fix it. We keep getting DAs that are corrupt. We keep getting, I mean, Robert Schuler Smith was on trial most of his career. And then now Jody Owens has resigned because he admitted to being corrupt. But they're saying everybody's acting like he was only corrupt one time. Just this one time I was corrupt. Somebody came in and wanted to pay me. No, if you ask for money one time, you've asked before and got away with it 1,000 times. There is no one. It's very rare for you to have the one-time criminal. It's like all the people that said, I only had sex once, and then they wind up with a baby. That I know it happens, but that's that. We got to do better, people. We got to figure out how to get people to quit killing each other. We got to figure out how we can get our government to start doing right. How do we talk them into, hey, y'all, you know, I'm getting tired of living in a neighborhood that I don't have any roads. I don't have any bridges in my neighborhood. I can't get in and out of it. I don't have any justice in the world. My water bill's through the roof. My roof leaks, and I can't afford to get it fixed because everybody in the city that wants to fix it doesn't have a permit. But meanwhile, everybody knows that every Hispanic in the country is out there redoing your neighbor's roof, but nobody does anything about it. You know, you don't check. I mean, you could take an ICE agent, could ride around where they're redoing roofs and houses after a hailstorm, and it would be roundup time. You would be able, I mean, everybody knows, you know, you're going to get your roof done. Some contractor is going to take your job, turn it into an insurance job, and then hire a group of Hispanics to come in and do the roof and pay them next to nothing. That's a crime, y'all. That's a crime, and we all live with it because we save money. The government knows that we won't bother anything as long as we save money. We leave it alone because we know that no matter what, if we don't save money, the government's going to get the rest of it. They're going to take it in taxes, whether it's taxes on sales tax on food. And, you know, the state lowers their taxes and your city goes, there's some room in there for us to get a penny or two. And they get 2 cents. And then we're going to get rid of this. And then the gas tax goes up. Gas goes up. We get taxed to death. We don't make any money here. We survive here when it comes to money. You know, the reality is if you just give your life to Benny Thompson, just go ahead. I want you to lay down today and give your life to Benny Thompson. He'll give you a free house. He'll give you a transportation. Whether if you get a car or not, I don't know. But he'll provide a bus or something to come by and pick you up. We'll give you enough money to where when you're not since you're not going to raise your kids, and we expect you not to, but we're going to give you money for each one anyway. That way you can get your hair did and get your nails. We're going to give you food stamps where you can get all the food you want. And then we have a lot of food banks that you can go by and pick up food. We're going to give out water every other week. And we're going to get you a cell phone and probably a computer with the internet because you deserve that. That's a right in the Benny Thompson district. And we'll give all that to you free of charge. All you got to do is give your soul to Benny. Y'all, that's socialism. And our Republican leadership here in Mississippi allows that to go on by not redistricting that area and making it a complete red state. I guess, you know, the state is greedy. Everything, once again, it's about money. If I can get the money, I don't care about the crime. You know, if I can get my roof done by Hispanics for cheaper price, I save money. Let's forget about the crime that took place. The crime is out there, and it's everywhere. And everybody wants to get over on somebody else. And everybody doesn't want to pay their taxes. Nobody wants to pay their fair share. Why do we allow it? Because we saved a few bucks. We'll be back with more on the Clay Edwards Show. I'm Chip Matthews filling in. Why do we allow it? Because we saved a few bucks.
.1039 WYAB.
Hi, Kim Wade here. Hot weather requires us to run the AC nonstop. Pure Air Consultants can inspect your unit today to ensure your AC is operating at peak performance. Pure Air Consultants is your go-to Rheem partner that can get the job done and have you resting in comfort in no time. Locally owned and operated, they have proudly served our community for over 22 years. Contact Pure Air Consultants today at mypureairconsultants.com. Rheem and Pure Air Consultants to the rescue.
Tired of the brutal Mississippi sun beating down on your ride or home? Lakeland Glass and Tint in Flowood has you covered. They specialize in professional window tint for cars, homes, and businesses using premium Expel film, plus top-tier paint protection film, ceramic coatings, and full vehicle wraps. Change your truck's color or turn it into a rolling billboard without an expensive paint job. Get a free quote today at LakelandGlassandTint.com. That's LakelandGlassandTint.com. Lakeland Glass and Tint, Central Mississippi's tint and wrap pros. The only thing hotter than Mississippi in the summer is a Mississippi summer when the power goes out. This summer, be ready. Call Cowden Electric. They can install a permanent standby generator that automatically kicks on the second the power fails and keeps your whole house running. Hey, you already got a portable generator? Call Cowden Electric and let them set it up so you can safely plug it into your breaker box and power just the essentials. Don't wait for the next outage. Call Cowden Electric today or visit CowdenElectric.com and stay powered up when the grid goes down. CowdenElectric.com.
A funny thing happens to a lot of men. One day you're the guy carrying the ice chest, loading the truck, and helping everybody move. Then one day, you're looking for a place to sit down. If your energy, focus, and drive aren't what they used to be, talk to Live Better Men's Health and Wellness. Real answers, personalized treatment, a better way forward. Living better starts at livebettermen.com. That's livebettermen.com.
Hey, business owners, want your phones to ring away? Get your name on the airwaves with the Clay Edwards Show today. Tell the town who you are while they're driving in their cars. If you want your business to grow, advertise on the Clay Edwards Show. Contact info at WYAB.com. Contact info at WYAB.com.
Need equipment that works as hard as you do? Come see me, Noah Sullivan, at H&H Chief Sales in Carthage. Thousands of you have already made the short drive to see us at H&H for the state's best deals on CM truck beds, Big Tex trailers, Wells Fargo enclosed trailers, and even rugged Candy electric utility vehicles. At H&H, our equipment is built for the farm, job site, hunting camp, or anywhere around your property. So visit me, Noah Sullivan, at H&H Chief Sales on Highway 35 North in Carthage, or online anytime at hhchiefsales.com.
It's all systems go this month at Mazda of Jackson. With rates as low as 0% with approved credit, come test drive the all-new, fully redesigned 2026 Mazda CX-5. More room for you and your cargo makes the third-generation CX-5 the best yet. Mazda's best-selling SUV also comes with 1-year maintenance included on your new vehicle purchase. And Mazda of Jackson still specializes in certified pre-owned vehicles with hassle-free trade-in options available. Shop online at MazdaJackson.com or visit Mazda of Jackson, I-55 Frontage Road.
The Clay Edwards Show live stream on WYAB is brought to you by Mazda of Jackson.
This is the Clay Edwards Show, powered by LiveBetterMen.com.
Contact the show on the Ellis Autoplex text line at 769-241-1944.
Welcome back to the Clay Edwards Show. Breaking rules. Here we go. When necessary.
7:22 a.m. I am Chip Matthews filling in on the Clay Edwards Show. Of course, all his texts, and if you're texting him or anything, he's getting those. He doesn't have that here. That's with him wherever he goes. So you hit him up and hit the like, the love button, and all of that, and keep up with Clay. You can also check my page out, the Chip Matthews on X page, Chip Matthews on WYAB page, and Chip Matthews page or you can check out my restaurant, Beethoven's on the Reservoir, where everything's going on. Acme Pizza's going on. And I mean, stuff going on out there. And look, we had a great 4th of July weekend. Dr. Czar was great. Keys versus String, great. Emergency 9, great. Soundcheck the Band, great. Mike Mott, Ralph Miller, Chris Davis. Oh, Timmy Avalon. Yeah, y'all need to come on out and check it out. We're out there on the water. People are discovering us every day, and it's just great. And we'll be open at lunch again today. Yeah, we do a lunch plate each and every day. So come on out and check that out at Beethoven's Boardwalk on the Reservoir. Now, back to what I was talking about. I sit here on the radio and I talk about the sins that our government does because they don't want to do right, where they just charge us. Now, I am not a person that has not lived without sin. I'm somebody who has squandered millions and millions and millions of dollars on absolutely nothing. Yes, I have wasted more money than most people make in a lifetime. Maybe 5 people made in a lifetime. And I don't claim to be some righteous radio guy or righteous political figure that has done everything right. Oh, thank you, my brother. My brother texts me, not you. Yes, me. I have wasted some money in my time. But the government, it's different when you go out and you tell the people you're going to take care of them and you run for office and you get into office. Now, I wasted that money individually, and I didn't have any kids, and that I know of, and anything out there that, and it's still wrong to waste all that money, but I did, and I'll admit it. You know, I've wasted. I can start naming cities. But the reality is the government people are not supposed to waste our tax dollars. When we pay taxes, they're supposed to spend our money frugally and on things that we need. And they don't need extra money. They don't need to raise money. They should be lowering taxes. If you're going to say you're a Republican, you got to do everything you can to reduce taxes and reduce the size of government. And all we do in Mississippi is we get as much money into the coffers as we can, and then we give it to people and NGOs, and we have it structured to where we can give it to what looks like a nonprofit, and we're doing a great job by giving the money to the nonprofit. Then the nonprofit just steals all the money because we don't have any auditing powers and we don't have any strings attached to the money that they get. They can do whatever they want to with it, especially if they'll give some back to my campaign. We can start looking at the campaign finance reports on all these politicians that are in the top part of the hierarchy, and you're going to see a lot of your tax dollars being given back to them. You're also going to see things like law firms in the state that receive large sums of money that have nothing to do with the politics of the state, other than they're the ones that are forming the policies. And they're the puppet masters, as you look at it. All our puppet masters, the people that run for office are, in most cases, are paid for and put up by other people to run, and they try to keep them a certain clean and whatever image, which clean political image now is gone. We hadn't had that in years. And everybody that's running for governor currently, according to what everybody believes, remember, nobody has had to qualify. You don't qualify till January. Right now, they're jockeying for position and seeing how much money they can raise so that the hierarchy can decide who's going to be what. Because the hierarchy will say, you're going to be governor, you're going to be lieutenant governor, you're going to be secretary of state, you're going to be this. That's the way they do it here in Mississippi. And then the GOP will get behind those people. It's just like when they wanted a judge, they said, this person's going to be the judge. You go, you can't say that. You can't, you're not supposed to endorse a judge. But yeah, we'll endorse this judge. And then they endorsed it in the county. They picked the supervisors, picked the judge, and they endorsed that one. And that's what they did. And that's what goes on in this state, is where the party is picking who we want. And then we, just because we're white, are Republicans, we vote for them. And if your party picks a Democrat, you vote for them, whether they're the right person or not. Because they have done their best to vote us to where we vote along racial lines. It's amazing to me how much we decide everything based on race. If I, when they say, Chip, when you run for office, you need to run as a Democrat, you'd win. You have a lot of Democratic views. I have a lot of just right and wrong views, y'all. Right and wrong. Nothing wrong with right and wrong, is it? We always act like there is. We run a government like there's nothing. Like you can't run a government on right and wrong. You got to give in to some of these things. You've got to negotiate. You've got to curb your values just a touch so that this will work. Because everybody's got to come out ahead. Well, when the state had a supermajority of Republicans, we didn't get ahead. We got behind. And when we had a supermajority of Republicans, Delbert was putting in Democrat leadership in all these committees. And until whatever comes out of the committee, you're not going to get to vote on it on the floor. I mean, do we realize how corrupt the system is? And there's nothing we can do about it until we rise up like people. I've been watching all these things of the war, the Revolutionary War. Usually when you say the war around here, you're talking about the Civil War. But I've been looking at the war, the Revolutionary War, where a group of rebels, which were George Washington and them, he was a rebel. I know many people will go from Mississippi State will say, no, he wasn't a rebel. Yeah, he was a rebel. All of them were rebels, and they wore the red, white, and the blue. I'm going to get everybody hating them. But anyway, the rebels, because they rebel against the king. And they did, and the odds were and on the predictive market, we could have made some money because U.S. wasn't supposed to win. Hell, U.S. didn't exist. But the rebels won. We have freedom today. And we're squandering our freedom here in America. We're squandering everything, our monies and everything. We are letting the outside world take over. We got murderers and rapists. That's what you're watching. You're looking at your government saying, why don't you do something about it? I said, we can't do anything about it. We got any money. Well, you don't have any money. Well, how come I'm paying taxes? Well, you're paying taxes because you got to feed people. Making it safe for us is the first priority. The people that need to eat need to get a job. There are some that we'll take care of. And look, in this community, we take care of people that are starving and people that are hurt and people that need help. We don't need the government doing it. That's the problem. The government should only be the government. The government shouldn't be all things to everybody. It's just like going to college. Not everybody's meant to go to college. Not everybody smart enough to go to college. Not everybody's going to gain anything from going to college. And many of them will become president of the United States and hadn't spent a day in college. We'll be back with more right here on the Chip Matthews Show. Filling in on the Clay Edwards Show on WYAB. Hadn't spent a day in college. We'll be back with more right here on the Chip Matthews Show.
Keep it tuned here to 103.9 WYAB.
This is Central Mississippi's Stimulating Talk.
103.9 WYAB. Pocahontas, Jackson.
Looking for adventure, amazing food, and a little relaxation all in one place? You'll find it at Cypress Point Resort in Brandon. Load up the family and experience a real drive-through safari, petting zoo, and thrilling guided Jeep tours. Then slow it down with mouth-watering steaks at the steakhouse, or grab drinks and live music at the tavern. Planning a wedding or reunion? Cypress Point Resort has beautiful venues and cozy lodging. Ready for your big day or just a weekend escape? It's everything you love about the outdoors with a touch of luxury. Cypress Point Resort. Wild fun right around the corner.
When seconds making a play, Short's got it covered.
A winning insurance strategy doesn't rely on one person.
Good hustle, good hustle.
Communicate with your guys and make sure everyone's in the right coverage. It takes a team that knows its roles well, working together to provide an exceptional experience.
Set the screen. You have to protect yourself. 1, 2, 3, Wildcats!
At Shelter Insurance, you can count on our local agents and award-winning customer service to help you protect what matters most.
Come see me, Jamie Creel, at Shelter Insurance and see why Forbes has rated us #1 in the world.
Got a car, truck, or SUV you are trying to sell? Well, we want to buy it. Hi, I'm Casey Ellis, owner of Ellis Autoplex in Brandon. Right now, we're paying top dollar for clean vehicles, and you don't have to buy anything from us. We'll appraise your vehicle, make you a strong offer, and you can walk away with a check the same day. No marketplace maniacs or Craigslist crazies here. Our checks are real. If you've been thinking about selling, well, now's the time. Ellis Autoplex in Brandon is home of Little Truck City. Follow us on Facebook or shop online, ellisautoplex.com.
Metal Builder Supply in Pearl provides quality commercial and residential metal roofing, pre-engineered steel buildings, mini storage facilities, pole barns, and steel components with old-time service and competitive prices. Through our commitment, experience, and expertise, Metal Builder Supply has established a business relationship with our customers that will last a lifetime. When you need metal roofing, reflective insulation, trim, or metal decking, contact Metal Builder Supply online at metalbuildersupplypearl.com.
Remember when Saturday meant tackling 3 projects before lunch? Now you need a nap after buying the lumber. It doesn't happen all at once. Energy slips away a little at a time. Focus does too. The team at Live Better Men's Health and Wellness helps men get answers to low testosterone, fatigue, weight gain, and more. Because getting older is mandatory. Feeling old is optional. Learn more at livebettermen.com. That's livebettermen.com.
Grill lovers already know about Grills of Mississippi, and so should you. Grills of Mississippi carries premium Weber grills, Yoder smokers, and outdoor kitchen accessories to take your backyard cooking to the next level. Whether you're a weekend griller or a serious pitmaster, Grills of Mississippi has the brands, the knowledge, and the service to help you do it right. Turn your backyard into the ultimate gathering spot. Visit grillsofms.com today. Grills of Mississippi, where great cooking starts.
The Clay Edwards Show live stream on WYAB is brought to you by Mazda of Jackson.
This is the Clay Edwards Show, powered by LiveBetterMen.com.
Contact the show on the Ellis Autoplex text line at 769-241-1944.
Welcome back to the Clay Edwards Show. Breaking rules. Here we go. When necessary.
It is the Clay Edwards Show. I am, of course, Chip Matthews filling in today on a holiday day for him. He likes to take that extra day. He likes to sleep late, I guess we'll say. He's out working because he keeps posting left and right all the time. Debbie Bragansky chimes in. Well, first, let's do this. Culture Shock Entertainment Report podcast says, hey, I'm a proud brown Republican, and I'm glad you are. But, and it's great to be a Republican. What's got to happen to everybody is we've got to quit putting race in our politics at all. I mean, unless it goes away, we're not going to get anywhere. That's when you go to court, blind justice, it's supposed to be race free. And I know we can't get away from it because people are black and people are white and people feel slighted because one or the other. But race is not that, it should not be in politics. Just like politics should not be involved in the criminal justice system. But it is. Yes, it is. Debbie Bragansky says Michael Watson has done nothing to entice me to vote for him. But my question to you, Debbie, and to every other Republican in the sound of my voice, for all the work that he has not done, if he's on the ballot as the Republican nominee, are you going to vote for him? That's how the GOP works here. They make sure that their guy becomes the guy, and then you ain't got a choice but to vote for him because the other guy's a Democrat. Has nothing to do with the values of either one of them or what they do or don't do. They want you to vote based on race. They want you to vote based on party. They don't want to vote. They don't want to put anybody up that has and let them run a fair race. Once you're in the system, you're the guy that's supposed to move up the chain. That's it. That is the way the Republican Party in Mississippi does. It's just like when we all were delegates and we go down there, there were people that didn't show up because they were told they had to vote for Trump. So they didn't show up. And there were 7 of them from Madison County, and I won't name names. One of them was a mayor of a town, an alleged Republican that I got in trouble for calling him something else. Imagine that. But you look at these people that said that they were never Trumpers. Delbert was one of them. You know? People that said they would not support the president in the Gulf. I think he said something about in the Gulf of Mexico, or I forgot what all that was. I can't remember. Somebody will remember to send it to me. But the reality is, you got to support the president. And online right now, if you go to the Beethoven's Boardwalk page, there are people blasting my page over the fact that we said we were serving Trump vodka. You can't do that. We'll never walk in the doors again. Blah, 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 blah. Trump vodka. Oh, okay. You know, it's like a group of people that walked in a few nights ago that looked to be undesirables when they got there, and they saw the cutout of Trump in the lobby. And they said, if you don't take that down, we're not going to eat here. I said, well, I'm not taking it down. And they left. And I sat there and I went, maybe to help my restaurant's numbers, I need to go around and put Trump scarecrows around the property line all the way around and use Trump as a scarecrow to keep the non-conservative, the non-Republican away from here. It would also keep the Republicans that don't support the president away. And the problem is with supporting the president, if he is the president of the United States, whether you're Republican or Democrat or Rhino, you're supposed to support the president. That's the system. The Republicans, all of them, say that when Obama was in charge, they were going to respect the president. When Biden was in charge, it was hard to say you were going to respect the president, but you had to respect the decisions of the president. If America did not respect the decisions of the president, we would have had a revolt. We would have had a revolution, just like we did back when we didn't agree with the King George back in the day, 250 years ago. When we didn't agree with the system, we fought back. That doesn't mean we have to like everything they do. It just means that we all are one nation. We're one United States, but we're all independent because of Independence Day. Each one of us has an independent right to be whatever we want to be. Let's see what's going on. Robert Kinney. Yes, Chip, dead center. We then must vote for Watson because we can't vote for a Socialist Democratic Party. We have been voting for also ran candidates until we are now 17% turnout. That is correct. They have beat us down. And look, the 17% turnout, that's not a Republican number. That's a Republican and Democrat number. 17% voted in the primaries. 17% don't. I don't even know how this radio show even has listeners, because at 17%, nobody would be listening to what we have to say. Nothing. Instead, you ride around and you say, I support Chip. I support Clay when Clay's on. I support him. Did you vote? Did you go vote? That's the only thing that should matter to you and will make your life better, is if you vote. And if you don't have anybody to vote for, put your ass on the ballot. That's right. Or find somebody to run if you don't want to run. But the reality is, until we put some people on the ballot to run against people in primaries, and guess what? In the upcoming election in November, we've already had our primaries. 17% showed up. And everybody going, Well, hell, that was back in February and the election is in November. Yes, hide the ball. Hide the ball. It's like every year when it's qualifying time in January, nobody talks to tell you that it's qualifying time. It's not in the news media. They keep it quiet. And qualifying deadline goes past and the qualifying deadline just passed in the news. Because they don't want it publicized that it's time to run. And they go, well, everybody knows when to run. No, they don't. Not if you're new to politics. If you're new to politics, you do not know when it is time to run. You may research it for a second, then forget about it because it's kept that quiet. Until you get passionate about it, you're not going to get involved in it. And that's what we need is more passionate people. We're nothing against those that have been able to stay in office forever, but passionate people running for office would get people that have been sitting in office for 30 years gone. Why do you think Benny Thompson's been in office for 33 years? Until Ron Eller came along, there was nobody passionate to keep running. They got beat and went home. Ron, when he set out to run, he said, we're probably going to get beat the first time, but we'll get some ground support and get some people together, and we'll keep moving on. And that's what Ron did. Then when the millionaire jumped in from Natchez and said he was going to run, the GOP ran right over there because he had a pile of money. They wanted to get some of that money. And then their guy got beat by Ron Eller. Why? Because he had spent the first 2 years with his feet on the ground, knocking on doors. And you got to think in those 2 years, the first 2 years, at 11:30, they still hadn't called the Benny Thompson race last election. He was giving him hell. And then all of a sudden, the big county of Holmes County, which was taking all night for them to count their votes, Lexington, Pickens, Goodman. Once they got all their votes counted, Ron had lost. It takes so long to count out there in the woods. Maybe that's because the education is bad. Nah, it's Benny Thompson's district. There's great education in Benny Thompson's district. There's great money. We spend money everywhere. We give big checks to everybody. What do you do with big checks? You put them in big banks. And then those banks handle that money and give it back out to whoever they're supposed to. You know, the corrupt system is corrupt from the top to the bottom. It's corrupt. Money is the corruption that neutralizes everyone. I mean, it's just like when you try to save money on your roof by hiring a group of Latinos, let's say, who don't have permits, don't have a Mississippi driver's license, don't have a work visa for the country, and you save money on your roof. Now, they do a great job. Don't get me wrong. But the state takes so many taxes. The people want so many permits for this, that, and the other. You know, God forbid I'd have to go get a permit to build a log cabin. They'd say, you know, your log cabin has to be built out of these kind of logs, and they have to be so many years old. You know, you can't cut down a tree in its prime, or the tree doctors will come out and get on to you. And you can't cut down trees in a certain area because the deer have to sleep there. The raccoons, all that. You'll have to pay a tax. You can pay a tax and we'll let you do it. I think DeWitt once was trying to open up a place down on the coast, and it was the Spotted Isles or something that cost him a fortune to relocate the birds. Never mind, birds fly all the time. They don't, it ain't like they live there. But anyway. It's weird how everything is about money and we do nothing about it. And the more it's about money and the less money we have, the less we vote. Okay? So the state and the government takes everything they can out of our pockets so that they can beat us down to where we are slaves to the taxes. And that's why 17% of Mississippi, Republican and Democrat, show up to vote. At least some of the Democrats are motivated by money because they get a check from Benny. And there's more people getting a check from Benny than people paying taxes, can live on the tax money, the money they have left over after taxes in Mississippi. We'll be back with more right here on the Clay Edwards Show on Chip Matthews. The money they have left over after taxes in Mississippi. We'll be back with more.
1039 WYAB.
Hey, Rankin County, swing by the locally owned and award-winning 042 Wine and Spirits on Highway 80 next to Sonny's Barbecue in Brandon today. We've got one of the largest selections around with over 200 bourbons and whiskeys to ignite your taste buds, more than 50 vodkas, 50-plus tequilas, 30-plus rums, and ready-to-drink cocktails, as well as premium scotches. And get this, we've got over 400 wines in stock for the perfect pairing anytime. Discover your new favorites today at 042 Wine and Spirits right next to Sonny's Barbecue, Highway 80, Cross Gates, Brandon.
For decades, you've known the name Martin's for good times, great food, and the best live music. Now that's happening at 2 locations, downtown Jackson and Livingston. Check the websites, martinslivingstonms.com and martinsdowntownjxn.com for many special events and live music lineups. You can chill with friends on the big patio at the Livingston location and enjoy the Blue Plate lunches and nightly drink specials. Martin's, downtown and Livingston.
When leaks, clogs, or cold showers slow you down, call on Anglin Plumbing, the plumbing experts who get the job done right the first time. Leaky faucet, sink, or toilet? Need a water heater installed? Call on Anglin Plumbing. You can always trust Anglin's reliable and hardworking technicians. Don't let plumbing headaches ruin your day. Call on Anglin Plumbing Service to get it fixed. And you can be a part of the team. Anglin Plumbing is now hiring. Learn more about Anglin Plumbing at anglinplumbing.com.
Hey, business owners, want your phones to ring away? Get your name on the airwaves with the Clay Edwards Show today. Tell the town who you are while they're driving in their cars. If you want your business to grow, advertise on the Clay Edwards Show. Contact info at WIAB.com. Contact info at WIAB.com.
For over 2 decades, A1 Gear and Auto has been your hometown specialist for auto repair and maintenance. Brake repair and replacement, radiators, engines, starters, alternators, heat, AC, and water pumps. A1 will get your vehicle back up and running fast. A1 is one of the only shops in the metro that specializes in rear differentials, rear ends, rings, and pinions. A1 Gear and Auto, Highway 49 in Florence. A1 Gear and Auto, your trusted auto repair shop.
I've always believed that being your jeweler means being there for you with the highest quality jewelry repair and custom design services in the state. I'm John Ravenstein.
I'm Corey Ravenstein. That's why here at Juniker Jewelry Company, you'll find the largest team of fine jewelry professionals and artisans in Mississippi.
Only here at Juniker's will you find 4 master goldsmiths. We do everything in-house. Your jewelry never leaves our shop.
We even have jewelry designers on staff to help you create that one-of-a-kind piece you've always dreamed of.
Juniker's master craftsmen set the stones, work the metals, and polish everything to perfection.
There is almost nothing we can't create or fix like new again.
For Mississippi's finest jewelry repair and true old-world craftsmanship, come see us at Juniker Jewelry Company.
Our trusted jewelry professionals are here for you.
Juniker Jewelry Company, Mississippi's direct diamond importer. 1485 Highland Colony Parkway, just south of 463 in Madison, and JunikerJewelry.com.
Acme Pizza and Daiquiris is leveling up. A whole new Acme Pizza and Daiquiris is now open at the Reservoir at Beethoven's Boardwalk in Ridgeland, right next door to Cock of the Walk. And the new Acme Pizza and Daiquiris will have all of your old favorites too, like the Acme Dynamite Balls and Garlic Knots, and the best specialty pizzas ever, like the Pig, the Sergeant Pepperoni, the Serpent Turf, and lots more. Come to the all-new Acme Pizza and Daiquiris location on the Res in Ridgeland, next door to Cock of the Walk.
The Clay Edwards Show live stream on WYAB is brought to you by Mazda of Jackson.
This is The Clay Edwards Show, powered by LiveBetterMen.com.
Contact the show on the Ellis Autoplex text line at 769-241-1944.
Welcome back to the Clay Edwards Show. Breaking rules. Here we go. When necessary.
7:52 on a Freedom Day. Another Freedom Day in America. America. 7-5. Yes, day after Independence Day. Here you are, free in America, but it'll cost you taxes. It'll cost you your dignity to be an American. What do you mean it'll be costing me my dignity? Well, does America do everything that you think it needs to do? Do we act like we want to win a war? Do we act like we want to do anything? You know, the patriotic spirit is gone. The only people that have patriotic spirits all the time now is military. Military people, they deserve to love it or not love it because they fought for the country. They're the ones who have the rights. Okay? And they should be who's allowed. I mean, we don't, that's the way it should be. They're the only ones who have their core values correct. You go into the military and you learn. I mean, it's cool. We don't teach military. We don't teach to love our country. We don't teach, we don't even teach reading, writing, and arithmetic anymore. That used to be core values. We teach you to be able to take a test. Write your name. Oh, we ain't gonna teach you to write your name. That's not. That's the communist thing. That's forcing you to do something. We don't want to teach that. Oh no. Let's see what we got here on the news feed. Let's see. President Trump says restraining order needed against Italian Prime Minister Giorgio Meloni. Okay. What else going on? Bitcoin is down. Bitcoin Cash. Hines County Sheriff to address Raymond Detention Center death after man dies in custody. Okay, that's good to know. That's good to know. Let's see. China launches ballistic missiles in South Pacific, drawing concern from nearby nations. I would be concerned. I'd be more concerned if they were being sent up by the guy that owns Amazon. All his rockets blow up. But that's that. World Cup fans question President Trump's role in FIFA's U-turn on the suspension. What? Hey, President Trump getting it done for America. Now, that reminds me, if there's a problem in the Ole Miss Alabama game or the Ole Miss LSU game this year, Trump, I expect you to come in and fix it because we know that Ole Miss should always win. We know that. We know that already. Let's see what else we got here on the news feed. These are things that happened. Domestic dispute over children and belongings near Allen Holmes Road. Details are emerging from Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce's wedding. Ooh, we're all impressed with that. I was watching this poet. They were talking about this poet who eulogized the Iranian leader and calls for death of Donald Trump. I saw that on the news. And I want to say the first person I would never say, go kill him, is Donald Trump while he's president. The second thing is, they usually used to be death to Americans. So basically you're telling me that Trump is taking the heat off Americans that are in Iran because they'd rather kill Trump than kill Americans. Maybe he's taking the heat off that. No. We got to do something about this. The Muslims, we got to do something about all these people that want to wish death to America and death to our president. That is not allowed. And I mean, we have people in this country. And as I watch the threats online on a post just on talking about vodka, Trump vodka, the hatred that comes out over that. I mean, how can we hate our president at that level? You can hate his ways. The man's running the country right. It would be, and we ought to also understand this. Trump is playing the game with the millionaires and billionaires who are that play the game with us all the time. How is it the war continuing and gas prices are falling? I mean, because the way things are, they need X amount of volume to be sold regardless, whether they have to raise the price or lower the price. They can always do it. But, you know, when they're not getting where they need to go, I mean, you slow the economy. Like, for instance, when the cars aren't moving, that means boats aren't moving. And when boats aren't moving, like on the reservoir, time to get the price of gas down where we can get some boats on the reservoir. What also slows down then? Buying of cars, buying of boats, buying of luxury items. You know, when you start cutting everything off and slowing down the economy on what actually makes the world go around, somebody's going to do something to fix it. You know, these alternative energies that threaten oil around the world threaten all those governments that want to fight, that wind up in war all the time because you're messing with their money. You got to quit messing with people's money and how they survive and make a living until they have figured out a new way to make a living. Because if all of a sudden tomorrow morning we didn't need oil to live on, what would we do? If they took it all away and you didn't need oil anymore. That's what happened at the Civil War. They took things away from you that had value and you didn't need them anymore. They weren't yours anymore. We're taking that money off the books. It led to the Civil War. It's facts. We'll be back with more right here on the Clay Edwards Show. I'm Chip Matthews, filling in for Clay on a Monday. Y'all go out and eat at Beethoven's for lunch. Hey, y'all go out and eat at Beethoven's for lunch.
This is Central Mississippi's Stimulating Talk.
1039 WYAB, Pocahontas, Jackson.
From ABC News, I'm Brian Clark. Extreme heat over the weekend was blamed for at least 25 deaths in New Jersey, and now the heat's given way in the Northeast to heavy rains. 40 million people are under a flood watch, says ABC meteorologist Ginger Z.
A lot of people needed rain, but flood watches now from Virginia and North Carolina up through Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, and over to Hartford and even New Bedford. Rhode Island is in a flood watch as well, New York City.
The severe weather also complicated holiday travel, says ABC's Matt Rivers in New York.
Overnight, more than 1,000 flight cancellations with thousands more delayed. This as a Delta plane in Chicago reportedly struck by fireworks Saturday.
Tower, we just had a firework hit our plane, Delta 1076, we're continuing.
Delta saying the flight safely landed and taxied to the gate.
Air travel also complicated last night at Boston's Logan Airport because of a jet fueling system outage. That led the FAA to implement a ground stop. The problem's been resolved. President Trump will fly overseas for the first time on the new Air Force One jet donated by Bahrain. His destination, Turkey, for the NATO summit, says ABC's Stephen Portnoy.
The president has aired his anger at the NATO partners for not taking part in the Iran war effort. He's even said he wouldn't be heading to the summit this week were it not being hosted by his friend, Turkish President Recep Tayyip Erdogan. In an effort to smooth things over, NATO's Secretary General has pointed to what he calls the Trump trillion, the additional money Europe has recently pumped into its own defense. The White House says the president will continue urging more of that spending as he considers further drawdowns of the long-standing U.S. troop presence in Europe.
The president will also meet with the leaders of Syria and Ukraine as Russia continues its bombardment of Ukraine. Overnight strikes killed 18 people. Today in Utah, Charlie Kirk's widow and his parents will be in court with the man accused of killing the conservative influencer. It's the start of a mini hearing to determine if Tyler Robinson will face trial for Kirk's death last year. You're listening to ABC News.
That'll be 84.52.
Perfect. Grab the bags, honey. Mom, why do you always check your phone before we pay?
I'm just claiming my cash back on the Upside app. Since we're getting the groceries here and we filled up the car on the way, I've already earned enough this morning to pay for that pizza night we're having Friday.
Wait, so the app pays for pizza?
Not exactly, but the cash I earn on stuff we need helps us pay for the stuff we want. It's just a little win for our family every week.
Get more out of your everyday. Upside is the free app that gets you cash back on routine purchases like gas, groceries, and dining out at more than 100,000 locations nationwide. No points, no rebates, just cash back straight to your wallet. Download the free Upside app and use promo code ACT5 to get a $5 bonus on your first purchase. That's promo code ACT5 to get a $5 bonus. Remember, use promo code ACT5.
Offers vary by user and location at participating merchants. Go to Upside.
Local news and weather brought to you by Mississippi Energy Services. We're your fast, affordable, and friendly generator service company. msenergy.us. msenergy.us.
How the district is dealing with the arrest of an employee on grooming charges. A bit of a cool down today. 90 is the high, and that comes with a 40% chance for afternoon storms. That chance this evening and tonight is 30% with a low at 73. Afternoon storms possible again Tuesday with a high at 91. With news on 103.9 WYAB, I'm Chris Davis. Lee County School District Superintendent Will Russell says the district will be monitoring the situation and has started the appropriate actions after Office of School Nutrition employee Sammy McLaurin was arrested and charged with grooming a child, which is a felony and means that a child was being manipulated for possible sexual activity, according to police and prosecutors. Russell says there is not much they can say legally right now because it has become a personnel matter. The arrest happened in Lamar County, but authorities there have not been forthcoming with much information. A Sunday morning shooting in Jackson. JPD says it happened at Eminence Row and Newman Avenue. They are being rather tight-lipped about what went down, though. Police say they found shell casings and that the victim was in the hospital, but as far as the motive, that's what they're being tight-lipped about. 2 people killed, a third wounded in an argument at a club in Adams County, Independence Day morning. Sheriff Travis Patton says 32-year-old Randolph Hannon was shot and killed by 31-year-old Michael Miner Jr. It was caught on video, and that video, he says, shows 21-year-old Jaquavius Norman of Roxy shooting and killing Miner. Then a bullet also hitting a woman in the face. She is in the hospital. Norman is under arrest. The union and the city of Jackson have been trying to negotiate to stop a JTRAN strike, but so far nothing has been settled. More news in 1 hour on 103.9 WYAB. I'm Chris Davis.
Why don't you mind your own business?
Mind my own business? What's that supposed to mean?
No, I was just thinking about all the news of tax changes, insurance changes, regulations that are being passed down to business owners. I don't have time to keep growing and to keep up with payroll regulations.
I know. It seems like all I do is handle employee-related problems.
You know, I hear People Lease can help.
How can they help?
People Lease can handle our payroll, taxes, employee benefits, and workers' compensation. They even offer an affordable and customizable 401k program and a 24/7 online human resources support center for all my HR needs.
Think of all the time we'll save. I'll be busy growing my business and letting People Lease take care of the rest.
Sounds like a good business plan with People Lease.
Let People Lease mind your business so you can mind your own business. Call now. 601-987-3025. That's 601-987-3025. Or visit freepayrollquotes.com for your free quote.
The views and opinions expressed in this program are the individual views and opinions of the people expressing them and do not necessarily reflect those of this radio station, its parent, affiliated, or related entities, agents, or employees.
Welcome to the Clay Edwards Show. More adrenaline.
You know, it's a pretty interesting time to be alive. What's the saying? May the times you live in be interesting. We have accomplished that.
And more testosterone for your morning drive.
But when you know you've got a problem, how about tell people and be honest? What's going on?
Going to war on cancel culture and bringing the spotlight on issues and topics from around the city of Jackson.
I feel like Jackson, Mississippi.
No one else wants to talk about.
The whole system is corrupt and evil. It's unreal. And they don't care. And everybody knows that. It's just sad.
And fights for the soul of America.
I'm going to need y'all to explain to me what a positive solution is, because you positive solutions only people have been in charge for a while now. And I'm not seeing too many positive solutions.
You never met a motherfucker.
Strap in, turn up the volume, and get ready, Jackson, for unfiltered, no sugar added talk radio. It's award-winning podcaster Clay Edwards.
And I am Chip Matthews, filling in for Clay Edwards on this holiday Monday for him. He's just like a bank. Takes that Monday holiday. He's got to take it. Got to take it. But anyway, Welcome to the program here on the radio. If you got something on your mind, give us a call. We'll talk about it, whatever you got. Remember, coming your way at 10 o'clock this morning, it is the one, the only Andrew Gosser, all gas, no brakes. He'll be in to talk about the political and probably the visit to NATO. You know, I think Trump should go over there and say, you people didn't show up to help us when we went over to Iran and we started handling that. And we're handling that for you because you could never get a nuclear inspector in there to check out the nukes. And we're all under the gun here, and it looks like we were fixing to have something happen, and we jumped over in there and said, oh, we're not going to let that happen. So is that the way y'all work? Last minute, daddy's going to come fix it? NATO? Daddy's going to come fix our problems? Daddy's got money. He'll show up at the end and fix it. That's the way in Ukraine, you know, that war seemed to be like almost ending. And then, oh, wait, we need some more money. And now all of a sudden we're finding a bigger war now over there than you can look at, you know. And they're saying, and the Republican and Democrat leadership of America is funding that war and using it as political fodder with our president because he's got a war going on in Iran. Never mind, he is America, and you congressmen and senators are America. Please get on the same page. He's the president. Support the damn president. All you Americans out there, within the sound of my voice, y'all support America. As people come to America for the World Cup, they're being inspired. They're going, look, America's not a third world country like we thought. No, it's not. You know, you can do whatever you want. But we're going to take our taxes if you like to sin. That's where we get our money. Sin taxes. In Mississippi, you know, we'll pass a gambling law. Sin tax. Get you some lottery money. Sin tax. You want to get some alcohol? Sin tax. You need some pot? We even got pot now. Sin tax. We'll tax it all. We'll tax it all. You know, it is amazing to me that once we pass the new sin tax, it's going to pay for our roads and bridges and all of those things that we have here in the state. Yet we don't have those. We have some federally funded roads that are decent to a degree. But once Mississippi gets a hold of it, and the Mississippi government and the supervisors, because everything goes down to the supervisor level. And then them supervisors, which they're meeting today at 9 o'clock there in Madison County, right there in Canton, Mississippi. And they will brush over everything they need to do. And the three amigos will do whatever they can to screw the public out every dollar they can. That's what they do. That is what they do. Roads, bridges, only to benefit them. I mean, y'all, the Mecca that will soon be known as Camden area will be the land of milk and honey with everything built there. It'll probably be like in the Benny Thompson district when they built Tunica and they built in the golf courses and all the hotels and had all the gambling, had it all up there. And now it's nothing, right? It's all there. Empty hotels, empty casinos. That's fixing to happen in Madison County. It's fixing to happen everywhere where the data centers are. I mean, in the next 3 to 5 years, they're going to figure out how to not have to deal with us. They're spending billions to make trillions. That's what you make after billions. It's trillions. And when you start making them, you can put them on your satellites up in the sky, and your data centers will be in the sky, and they will run around the earth with gravity and solar power, and everything will be wonderful. Hamas announced it's dissolving its governing committee. Unclear if the move will bring any meaningful peace. There'll be no peace in the Middle East. Not until the Muslims are gone. Right? Is that the way it's supposed to work? No peace? Without a war going on, there is no reason for money to move, right? Money moves. Money is neutral in being for the war or against the war. But without the money moving, there is no war. There is no for, there is no against. Without the money moving, there is no politician, elected or unelected. I mean, that is how everything in this world runs. Is this not off the blood, sweat, and tears of good ideas, but off money. Money decides who's going to be in office. The people don't. Money does. And we seem to not care. That is why 17% of the state of Mississippi, Republican and Democrat vote, it was because only 17% probably have money. Have you ever thought about it that way? And I'm talking about real money. I'm not talking about fake money. Some of you think you have money and you have a credit card with a line of credit. Unless all your stuff is paid for and you got money in the bank and you don't need any more money, you don't have money. And then those that have money know that they need to keep putting money on the pile or they won't have money either. That's the real reality to life, is you got to have the money. And then what happens when you don't have the money is you beg, borrow, and steal, political games. You do whatever it's going to take to get the money and put it back in your coffers. That's how it works. I've gotten to a point in my life where I like what money buys, but I don't need to buy much more anymore. You know, I'm damn near dead. It doesn't matter. I could make $1 billion by here and tomorrow, and because I can't spend it all, I don't need it. That's just the way it is. There's nothing left in the world that I haven't seen. There's nothing else in the world that I want to go do. I enjoy being out there, serving steaks, pleasing the people. I love booking the bands that come in and entertain the market. I love giving you a place to go. And that's all I need to satisfy myself. And I'm looking for a rocking chair. I need a rocking chair. But that's it. But I probably can afford a rocking chair. Other than that, I don't need money anymore. Oh, and I got to have money to pay for my key today because they got the Jaguar that was stolen last year about this time. They got my key in today at the Jaguar dealership. So I will go pick up my Jaguar that was stolen in Canton. And the cops didn't come in and testify against the guy after he'd been in jail, and they didn't do anything. He wasn't charged with anything that would stick, like, for instance, in possession of a stolen vehicle. He just says, hey, it wasn't mine. And they let him go. Meanwhile, it's going to cost me, what, $2,000, $3,000 for a new key? You go, Chip, it's a key. No, it's a key to a Jaguar. Remember, they're special. They're special. And they go, Chip, that's your fault for buying an expensive car. No, it's not my fault. I should be able, you shouldn't even need a key in your car because nobody should be out there stealing your car. Nobody should be stealing anything you own. But we portray a society of criminals out there that when they get arrested, they're only worried about how much time you get 20 years. Well, how much time do I have to do? 3 years, and then we'll let you out in 7 years probation. I mean, come on. We're not doing anything to fix anything. All you judges out there, you're not doing anything to fix the problem. Legislators, the judges that are good, when they give them a sentence, the legislature doesn't give them any backbone to keep it going. It's just like in the voting crimes, Michael Watson at the Secretary of State's office can arrest all the people he wants. Shad White can arrest all the people he wants. If Lynn Fitch doesn't prosecute them, it doesn't count. That's it. When you catch them and you arrest them and charge them with a crime, they're not allowed to prosecute it. Legislature has their hands tied. Chip, that's the way it's always been. Well, that's the way it shouldn't be. You know, people need to, I mean, there is no reason to even elect a Secretary of State or a state auditor. Might as well just appoint them if they're not going to have any powers, because we can't hold them accountable for not doing their job when they do their job. Figure that one out. Follow that closely now. We cannot get on to Shad White for not going after people, because Lynn Fitch's job is to go after people. After they prove that you've stolen, then that's it. You accused them of stealing. You can't prosecute them unless she wants to. That's what's wrong with our government here in Mississippi. That's what's really, really, really wrong around the world, is the justice system. Once you do catch the criminal knows he's going to get off. Lots of loopholes, lots of ways to go away. But that's the biggest one right there. No powers to do anything. We'll be back with more on the Clay Edwards Show. I'm Chip Matthews filling in. No powers to do anything. We'll be back with more.
1039 WYAB. Looking for adventure, amazing food, and a little relaxation all in one place? You'll find it at Cypress Point Resort in Brandon. Load up the family and experience a real drive-through safari, petting zoo, and thrilling guided Jeep tours. Then slow it down with mouth-watering steaks at the steakhouse, or grab drinks and live music at the tavern. Planning a wedding or reunion? Cypress Point Resort has beautiful venues and cozy lodging. Ready for your big day or just a weekend escape? It's everything you love about the outdoors with a touch of luxury. Cypress Point Resort. Wild fun right around the corner.
Remember when Saturday meant tackling 3 projects before lunch? Now you need a nap after buying the lumber. It doesn't happen all at once. Energy slips away a little at a time. Focus does too. The team at Live Better Men's Health and Wellness helps men get answers to low testosterone, fatigue, weight gain, and more. Because getting older is mandatory. Feeling old is optional. Learn more at livebettermen.com. That's livebettermen.com.
The only thing hotter than Mississippi in the summer is a Mississippi summer when the power goes out. This summer, be ready. Call Cowden Electric. They can install a permanent standby generator that automatically kicks on the second the power fails and keeps your whole house running. Hey, you already got a portable generator? Call Cowden Electric and let them set it up so you can safely plug it into your breaker box and power just the essentials. Don't wait for the next outage. Call Cowden Electric today or visit CowdenElectric.com and stay powered up when the grid goes down. CowdenElectric.com.
Need equipment that works as hard as you do? Come see me, Noah Sullivan, at H&H Chief Sales in Carthage. Thousands of you have already made the short drive to see us at H&H for the state's best deals on CM truck beds, Big Tex trailers, Wells Fargo enclosed trailers, and even rugged Candy electric utility vehicles. At H&H, our equipment is built for the farm, job site, hunting camp, or anywhere around your property. So visit me, Noah Sullivan, at H&H Chief Sales on Highway 35 North in Carthage, or online anytime at hhchiefsales.com.
Are you thinking about your next vehicle purchase? Hi, I'm Casey Ellis, owner of Ellis Autoplex in Brandon. If you've been searching for a clean diesel or half-ton truck, your search is over. At Ellis Autoplex, we specialize in the vehicles people actually want. Whether you're upgrading, buying your first truck, or looking for something the big dealerships don't have, Ellis Autoplex is worth the drive. Stop by and see why more and more people across the Southeast are choosing Little Truck City. Follow us on Facebook or shop online at ellisautoplex.com.
It's all systems go this month at Mazda of Jackson. With rates as low as 0% with approved credit, come test drive the all-new, fully redesigned 2026 Mazda CX-5. More room for you and your cargo makes the third-generation CX-5 the best yet. Mazda's best-selling SUV also comes with 1-year maintenance included on your new vehicle purchase. And Mazda of Jackson still specializes in certified pre-owned vehicles with hassle-free trade-in options available. Shop online at MazdaJackson.com or visit Mazda Jackson, I-55 Frontage Road.
For decades, you've known the name Martin's for good times, great food, and the best live music. Now that's happening at 2 locations, downtown Jackson and Livingston. Check the websites, martinslivingstonms.com and martinsdowntownjxn.com for the many special events and live music lineups. You can chill with friends on the big patio at the Livingston location and enjoy the Blue Plate lunches and nightly drink specials. Martin's, downtown and Livingston.
The Clay Edwards Show live stream on WYAB is brought to you by Mazda of Jackson.
This is the Clay Edwards Show, powered by LiveBetterMen.com.
Contact the show on the Ellis Autoplex text line at 769-241-1944.
Welcome back to the Clay Edwards Show. Breaking rules. Here we go. When necessary.
It is the Clay Edwards Show. I am Chip Matthews filling in. Andrew Gosser will be in at 9 o'clock. Thank God. Thank God. But anyway, y'all, the thing about the weekend, and he was saying there was the murders, and there was a murder in prison, a murder in jail. And Tyree's going to speak to it this morning. But I mean, look, in my news feed, and I don't know if it's still out there, they were showing the guy in jail. The video went viral. It came out, and I saw it. And this guy beat to death, blood everywhere, and some comments were being made. But you're in jail, and you can be TikToked, videoed right on out. That thing probably went viral. That prisoner made money on it, killing an 18-year-old in jail. But he did kill somebody else. I mean, eye for an eye. But what the hell's going on? Why when you go to jail, you should be safe, but you're not. You never have been, and everybody knows that. But to be murdered while you're waiting, and then they're going to scream about the bond. He needed a bond. Hell, he didn't need no damn bond. He had already killed somebody. You should not be able to get a bond for murder until after your trial or whatever, or when you're going to trial. But when you're being held and you haven't been arraigned or anything yet, there's no bond. You committed murder. But he was murdered. So is there justice? I don't know. A lot of people, when a murderer gets killed, they're happy. In the old West, they took care of it the old-fashioned way. 6 shooters. And you can't watch an old Western without seeing the hangman's things being built to hang somebody in pretty quick order after they have been found guilty. But in our society today, once you've been found guilty, we're going to make sure you can live to be 60, 70, leave you in jail for 40 years until you can figure out a way to get out. And if you can't get out, then we'll take you out. And meanwhile, we're paying for all of it. I say, you're going to miss some. You're going to kill some that you shouldn't have killed. But the reality is, if the justice system was put together better, maybe a lot of people wouldn't be caught doing wrong because they wouldn't be doing wrong. Let's say if jail becomes the place that you don't want to go because you could get killed in jail, that might be a good thing. Think about it. You got 2 justice systems. If you may be able to hire a lawyer, but in jail, if you ain't got some friends, they take care of it there. That's it. I mean, what's going on in the world to where we can't be in control of anything? We want to protect the world in Iran, Afghanistan, everywhere else, and we can't protect people here on this earth to enforce the laws that we want to enforce. And then, for instance, Hispanics. The people on the border that came across. Today, in Jackson, Mississippi, and throughout this county, we can ride around to where roofs are being redone. Laws are being broken, and people will drive by and not do anything about it. Meanwhile, if it's a citizen and their grass needs to be cut at their house, we'll find that guy. We'll find that guy. We know where he lives. We want his house. We want his property. We want to take it from him. We'll find that guy. You know, and there's probably, and look, I have met some great Mexicans along the way that are illegal in this country, trying to make a living. But you can like the person as a human being, but you can't condone the crime. You can't condone people that have businesses that have that pay their taxes and do all the things right. You just can't. You can't allow it to go on. There are citizens of the United States that serve food out there. Mobile food kitchens. They carry their plates into places like Nissan. Sell 100 plates to the people. But they don't have a sales tax ID number. You know, they say, I pay my taxes. No, you don't. You have to pay sales tax. That's a different tax. You pay the sales tax. And then you still have to pay taxes on the income. I have an LLC. Well, you have an LLC, but you're not doing what the LLC says you can do. You know, that's that. Hold on, y'all. Somebody's asking me, what's going on? Looking for employees to show up to work. Yeah, you're in business and you have employees and you withhold taxes and you have to match it and you have to pay the unemployment and you have to pay your insurance, and all of those things are part of being in business. And I can play the game, and I will follow the game and then follow the rules of the game. But those people out there that don't follow the rules of the game and take from everybody else cost us all more money in the long run. And when you allow the work to be done without checking to make sure that it's American and that it's what it needs to be, these are the things that are wrong with America. I mean, our legislators have businesses where these illegals come in and rent stuff from them and buy products and buy roofing materials and stuff like that. They know. And what do? They don't report it. If I were an ICE agent, all everybody knows you can go to the Home Depot and pick them up all day. But in reality, you don't have to pick them up at the Home Depot. Follow them to where they go. I mean, houses are being rented all over the place. And people know that those people aren't Americans and that they're here illegally. And the landlords don't care. They don't. As long as I'm getting mine. As long as you get your money, you don't care about America. You do not care. And we're down to 17% only care about voting Republican and Democrat in the state. We just don't care. Why don't we care? Why can't we be Americans? Why can't we be red, white, and blue? Now, everybody was upset that the fireworks didn't go off at the reservoir this weekend. That's because they moved them up to be in between Juneteenth and the 4th of July. Well, that didn't make any sense. 4th of July was on a Saturday. I don't know. We'll be back with more on the Clay Edwards Show on WYAB. We'll be back with more on the Clay Edwards Show.
103.9 WYAB.
This is Central Mississippi's Stimulating Talk.
103.9 WYAB. Pocahontas, Jackson.
When seconds making a play, Short's got it covered.
A winning insurance strategy doesn't rely on one person.
Good hustle, good hustle. Communicate with your guys and make sure everyone's in the right coverage.
It takes a team that knows its roles well, working together to provide an exceptional experience.
Set the screen. You have to protect yourself. 1, 2, 3, Wildcats!
At Shelter Insurance, you can count on our local agents and award-winning customer service to help you protect what matters most.
Come see me, Jamie Creel, at Shelter Insurance and see why Forbes has rated us #1 in the world.
Metal Builder Supply in Pearl provides quality commercial and residential metal roofing, pre-engineered steel buildings, many storage facilities, pole barns, and steel components with old-time service and competitive prices. Through our commitment, experience, and expertise, Metal Builder Supply has established a business relationship with our customers that will last a lifetime. When you need metal roofing, reflective insulation, trim, or metal decking, contact Metal Builder Supply online at metalbuildersupplypearl.com.
Hey, business owners, want your phones to ring away? Get your name on the airwaves with the Clay Edwards Show today. Tell the town who you are while they're driving in their cars. If you want your business to grow, advertise on the Clay Edwards Show. Contact info at WIAB.com. Contact info at WIAB.com.
Remember when Saturday meant tackling 3 projects before lunch? Now you need a nap after buying the lumber. It doesn't happen all at once. Energy slips away a little at a time. Focus does too. The team at Live Better Men's Health and Wellness helps men get answers to low testosterone, fatigue, weight gain, and more. Because getting older is mandatory. Feeling old is optional. Learn more at livebettermen.com. That's livebettermen.com.
Grill lovers already know about Grills of Mississippi, and so should you. Grills of Mississippi carries premium Weber grills, Yoder smokers, and outdoor kitchen accessories to take your backyard cooking to the next level. Whether you're a weekend griller or a serious pitmaster, Grills of Mississippi has the brands, the knowledge, and the service to help you do it right. Turn your backyard into the ultimate gathering spot. Visit grillsofms.com today. Grills of Mississippi, where great cooking starts.
Hey, Rankin County, swing by the locally owned and award-winning 042 Wine and Spirits on Highway 80 next to Sonny's Barbecue in Brandon today. We've got one of the largest selections around with over 200 bourbons and whiskeys to ignite your taste buds, more than 50 vodkas, 50-plus tequilas, 30-plus rums, and ready-to-drink cocktails, as well as premium scotches. And get this, we've got over 400 wines in stock for the perfect pairing anytime. Discover your new favorites today at 042 Wine and Spirits right next to Sonny's Barbecue, Highway 80. Cross Gates, Brandon.
When leaks, clogs, or cold showers slow you down, call on Anglin Plumbing, the plumbing experts who get the job done right the first time. Leaky faucet, sink, or toilet? Need a water heater installed? Call on Anglin Plumbing. You can always trust Anglin's reliable and hardworking technicians. Don't let plumbing headaches ruin your day. Call on Anglin Plumbing Service to get it fixed. And you can be a part of the team. Anglin Plumbing is now hiring. Learn more about Anglin Plumbing at anglinplumbing.com. The Clay Edwards Show live stream on WIAB is brought to you by Mazda of Jackson.
This is the Clay Edwards Show, powered by LiveBetterMen.com.
Contact the show on the Ellis Autoplex text line at 769-241-1944.
Welcome back to the Clay Edwards Show. Breaking rules. Here we go. When necessary.
8:35 a.m. on the Clay Edwards Show. Chip Matthews filling in today. And look, I'm looking at Beethoven's Boardwalk Sessions. The session seminar that we do at the restaurant that we do every Wednesday, brought to you by Bridget Ferguson. Y'all know who I'm talking about? She's a singer-songwriter in the area. But she lines these things up. And this week, the singer-songwriters are Hunter Gibson, Shane Turnage, and Chris Nash. That's going to be huge. And these people that come in, they only play their original music each and every week. So if you're into Hunter, you can come check that out. Shane Turnage been around for quite some time. Chris Nash been around. Y'all come check that out. That's going to be a strong one. And every week it's strong. Every week we have great singer-songwriters. We've gone like 8 weeks now, never repeated anybody. And they're writing some of the best music, and it's something entertaining. We have people there, And it's getting to be a great crowd that shows up for this thing just to sit and watch. I might do it one week and we'll do comedians. We might start doing comedians, but we do all kind of entertainment stuff, all kind of funs. We do everything completely different. And the food is a little bit of everything. I did Beethoven's on the Reservoir, Acme Pizza, Fork and Flame Steakhouse. Y'all come check it out. Yep. 8:37 in the morning on a Clay Edwards morning where he's not in this morning. So y'all text him on his hotline and say, what you doing? What you doing? And look, somebody put a temperature gauge in here in the restaurant, in the studio. And it says that currently it's 75 degrees. That can't be right. That can't be right. They got put a thermometer in the building for the inside temperature. I don't understand that. We know that it's going to be Mississippi today. That should be a degree. That should be a degree on the calendar. Yeah, on the thermometer. And you look down it, you look it up, you go, that's Mississippi. It's going to be Mississippi today. It'll be Michigan tomorrow, but Mississippi today. And in the winter, Michigan. Because anytime it's cold, it's, it might as well be the North Pole in Mississippi. But when it's hot, it's Mississippi. You got high humidity. You got air out there. You only can go through, it's becoming where you need to keep 3 T-shirts. One T-shirt to wear to work, one T-shirt to wear while you're in the building at work, and then one to ride home in. I mean, it's hot. Everybody goes, Chip, air conditioning. Don't you look, we do Juneteenth. We have all these holidays. Why don't we have a holiday for William Carrier, the man that invented air conditioning? That would make sense to me. Ben Franklin should have his own holiday before we do Juneteenth. Look at that. Mr. Carrier, I'm sorry you have been maligned. Too many people worship you here in Mississippi and all the great, great, great temperatures that we go through, and you make it bearable. Long time ago, we used to have high ceilings in houses and an attic fan. And then you came along and lowered our ceilings, raised our utility bill, and put in an air conditioner that we're just pleased to pay that bill because we're not going to sit in the hot. No, we're not. We want cold weather inside our house. We don't mind a little heat outside. We think that it should be a little warm outside. But we here in the South gonna have an air conditioner, and we salute you, Mr. Carrier. You should have your own holiday on the calendar. Maybe in August. There's no holidays in August, so we need to create a holiday for August for Mr. Carrier. Maybe August 1st should become William Carrier Day, and we honor him. And the banks can close and everything. It can be a national holiday. Because here we are in the South where we got to have air conditioner, and Mr. Carrier is the one who invented it and brought it to the masses. And I know it's a Southern holiday more than a Northern holiday, because there are places in New York City where it's been 100 degrees that don't have air conditioning. None. But nobody ever said anybody up north was very smart, did they? That must be why they moved south. It's because we have air conditioning. But anyway, so what are we going to do? What are we going to do to get out and make people go vote? What do we do to make you, by November, decide that you need to vote in the election? And this is the election for, what are we doing? Senator. And then in January, they'll start signing up. People don't realize all this governor talk now doesn't mean anything, because it's not going to occur till after January when everybody qualifies. Maybe some of you want to go qualify. Maybe we can get a grassroots candidate that everybody can get behind and want to see something happen. They are dying to get sweet air. That's correct, Jenny Halford. Maybe I should run for governor. Hell, It doesn't bother me. I can run. Maybe I should run for lieutenant governor. That's the position, y'all. That's the position Delbert's been in for years and helped the Democrats move their agenda right along. Helped Benny Thompson stay in office forever. Helped put conservatives out of their districts. That damn Delbert, he's the guy. And I'm still waiting to see if he's going to split the district, the Madison Rankin County district, and give Madison County the judicial district to Holmes County. And then, of course, it's all over then in Madison County because we'll have more corrupt judges than you can look at. And it'll be the continuing takeover of the conservative areas of the state because they've got to do something to make sure that when the government makes us redistrict, that they can figure out how to control and keep the money coming in. And, taking another county down completely is their way. I mean, look at it. Benny Thompson has over half the counties in the state. I know he has the landmass. It's about 32 counties is in his district and parts of others. The white part. No, he doesn't have the white part. He has the black part. And everybody goes, huh? I go, well, it's because he drew the lines based on race. They split Madison County. Based on race. They took Hines County and took it all except for Northeast Jackson. Based on race. Race. Get race out of politics in Mississippi, please. Legislatures, you're supposed to do it. The governor knows he's supposed to do it. Everybody knows it's the law of the land. Race is not supposed to be a part of politics. But in Mississippi, where we're constantly racist and the rednecks are always out there beating up on the blacks, no, that's what they depict in the news. That's what they depict nationally. Everybody thinks when they come to Mississippi, that's what they're going to see. It's just like the foreigners coming to the United States. When they come to the United States, they go, they don't hate each other here. They kind of like each other. This is a great place to visit, the United States. Well, Mississippi is an even greater part to come visit. But the political atmosphere here is racial. It's as racist as the 60s. And anybody that don't believe that is not watching. But then again, they've got you down to 17% only care. 17% only care to go vote Republican and Democrat in the race. That's how they got us here. They got us to where we don't, if we're not having to vote in it or don't have to think about it, then it's not racist. It's not something that we deal with. We know that there's no racism in Mississippi, but it's all in our politics. It is so embedded in our politics that that we are Mississippi burning. We are what's been going on. Race is embedded in everything we do politically in Mississippi. And there's no getting it out anytime soon. All these politicians who are your friends and your neighbors and the people that represent you, they're going to say, oh, Chip's crazy. He's a bunch of hooey. He's just talking. Ask them how they voted on different things. Ask them why we still pay taxes on certain things. Ask them why the jails aren't safe for people. Why anything's not done. It is insane to think that the world is falling apart. And it's racial here in Mississippi. It's all racial. And it's all political. And your leaders who seem pristine in their Republican and Democrat uniforms are all racist. It's a fact. It's a fact you need to know, fact you need to understand, because if they're not doing anything to fight it, to be a conservative on the Republican side, then they're being a racist. If they're not trying to get rid of the Benny Thompson district, they're a racist. If they're not in Madison County trying to redraw the district lines in Madison County, they're a racist. Your politicians are. If they're not speaking out on what has been drawn politically in this state, they're a racist. And nobody likes to be used that. Nobody likes to be called that, but that's the reality. Racial lines is what the problem is. And that's that. We'll be back with more right here on the Chip Matthews Show on WYAB. Is what the problem is. And that's that. We'll be back with more right now.
1039 WYAB.
Hi, Kim Wade here. Are you craving a home-cooked meal without the hassle? Come over to McBee's Bar and Grill in Ridgeland for their Blue Plate lunch specials. Served up every weekday, at McBee's it's a different entree every day. Chicken spaghetti on Mondays, beef tip Tuesday, pork chop Wednesday, spaghetti Thursday, and catfish Fridays. And McBee's Blue Plate lunch comes with 2 classic southern sides and cornbread or a roll. McBee's specials are served every weekday from 11 to 2. McBee's, buzzing the res since 1982.
Your roof is constantly exposed to the elements, battling dirt, algae, and stains. But with Watkins Construction and Roofing Roof Wash Service, you can keep it looking like new. A proprietary rooficide treatment is EPA approved, safe, and guaranteed to prevent algae from coming back for at least 2 years. No harsh chemicals, no damage, no black streaks. Just a clean, beautiful roof that lasts. Call Watkins Construction and Roofing at 601-966-8233 or visit nomoreroofstains.com today.
Want insider tips on foundation repair, maintenance, and how to protect your biggest investment? Todd Sandridge, owner of Superior Foundation Services, will be dropping in this month for quick interviews with your favorite local hosts. Whether you're dealing with cracks, settling, or just want peace of mind, this is a conversation you don't want to miss. Superior Foundation Services, helping you stay on solid ground. Find them online at superior.ms. That's superior.ms.
Hi, Kim Wade here. Hot weather requires us to run the AC nonstop. Pure Air Consultants can inspect your unit today to ensure your AC is operating at peak performance. Pure Air Consultants is your go-to ring partner that can get the job done and have you resting in comfort in no time. Locally owned and operated, they have proudly served our community for over 22 years. Contact Pure Air Consultants today at mypureairconsultants.com. Ream and Pure Air Consultants to the rescue.
We all love the farm-to-table food concept, right? Well, at Burnt Corn Farm, they bring you locally grown flowers straight from the farm to the vase. With a wide selection of flowers and excellent service, Burnt Corn Farm will make your next party or shower a southern delight. Sign up for a monthly bouquet subscription, and their farm-fresh flowers will brighten your days all season long. You can also book your next family photo session in their wildflower field. That's Burnt Corn Farm on Facebook and Instagram.
Knock your healthcare needs out of the park with City Center Drugs. Hi, this is Mary Beth Hardy, owner of City Center Drugs, located at the District at Eastover in Jackson. City Center Drugs is your home run destination for prescriptions, over-the-counter medications, vaccines, and even unique gifts with custom gift wrapping. Whether you're aiming to maintain a healthy lifestyle or looking to score the perfect gift, City Center Drugs has got you covered. Swing by today and experience the winning team at City Center Drugs. Visit us online at citycenterdrugs.com and go Braves.
The Clay Edwards Show live stream on WYAB is brought to you by Mazda of Jackson.
This is the Clay Edwards Show, powered by LiveBetterMen.com.
Contact the show on the Ellis Autoplex text line at 769-241-1944.
Welcome back to the Clay Edwards Show. Breaking rules. Here we go. When necessary.
It is the Clay Edwards Show. I'm Chip Matthews doing this fine a little bit. And coming in at 9 o'clock, it looks like Matt Bishop is going to come on. Oh, yeah. He'll come on. They'll have their political talk. And then Andrew Gasser, all gas and no breaks, will be on. It'll be a great day here on WYB. At noon is Lindsey Beckham, and then coming your way at 4 o'clock this afternoon, the one, the only, the Kim Wade and his Radio Strongman Entertainment. Yes, he is the absolute best. He is the best at addressing all these subjects and the subject matter in which I speak on. I only wished I had the knowledge that he had on it. You know, He is, well, he's got me by what, 6 years? Yeah, got me by about 6 years. That's 6 more years of life. Means a whole lot. I would have never gotten on and done a talk show when I was younger because I didn't know anything. And now I've gotten older and I still know nothing. I still know nothing. Why I get on the radio and talk, I do not know. Because all I know is, and everybody always asks me, you run for office, what do you think about? I think about what's right and what's wrong. And I've been through the process to open up a business and get the permits and get everything you're supposed to do all of that. And so all I know is what's right and what's wrong. And I mean, and in some of these permit places, I've walked in to get permits in different cities across the South. We'll take it off everybody in Mississippi at the same time, where they've asked for graft. They've asked for extra money. And I looked at them, and although it cost me money, I did it the right way. And that's the only way to do it. There is no paying off a politician. Recently, I have run into something different. And somebody said, well, you're going to have to start paying some politicians and giving to some campaigns to where they won't mess you over. That ain't the way this works. You don't have to pay to play. They're going to say, Chip, you're going to learn that you have to pay to play, but that's just wrong. And as those situations occur, when they say I got to pay to play, I will expose them. I'll give me plenty of fodder for right here on the radio show. I'll have plenty to say, because paying to play is not the game. Paying to play is not justice. And when people get arrested, and look, I know of many Hispanics that are getting arrested who the police department just looks at them and says, if your buddy will come up with X amount of money, we'll let them go before they get booked. And it happens. I've seen it. I filmed it. I videoed it. I saw it. Videoed it. I guess that's digital, dude. Nobody videos anymore. We call it video. Y'all, the world is so corrupt. And it's about cash, and cash makes everything okay. And yes, it's good to say a man has good ethics and he gets out and works and makes money for his kids and his religion and for his people. But in America, there's rules and regulations. And it'll all make everything work better if we just enforce the laws. If we will just do what's right. If we, and then when we find these people that are corrupt and these people that do things to us and people that try to scam us on the phones. I mean, every politician in office has a hotline that you can say, if you're getting calls that you don't want, you turn them into us, and you give them to them, and nothing happens. Nothing happens on the no-call hotline. Never mind AT&T and all of these companies can block those no calls. It already says spam call on your phone when it comes up. Spam calls are illegal. So why are you sending them out? Why do you even let them come through? Why doesn't the Public Service Commission go, excuse me, you cannot send out robocalls. You cannot send out these kind of calls in Mississippi. AT&T recognizes it and then lets the call continue to go. And they go into these homes of these elderly adults who've been told, oh, you've got to pay a fine or you're going to get in trouble. Somebody was driving your car and you got a handicap ticket and it's $5,000 and you got to give us some money right now. Stop it. Stop it. We have the technology to stop all this stuff. We have the technology probably to know what the person on the other side of the phone is fixing to ask us before they ask us. Well, I don't even know why we even use phones. We should be able to just think for just a second and listen to who's calling us in our brains. They're already there. They've already programmed us. It's in the air. Tesla taught us that. It's all in the air. I hear you telling me right now, what's for lunch? I hear it right now. You hear it right now. Coming into my head. Yeah, today for lunch at Beethoven's. Fried chicken, hamburger steak. I even think there's some brisket left over. Yeah, get me a brisket sandwich. But anyway, that's going to do it for me, Chip Matthews. I've had a great morning, great 3 hours. I will be back bright and early tomorrow morning, 6 a.m. You be here, so I'll be here. And of course, I'm here only because if I don't show up, nobody's going to cut the light on in the building or get the studio cold enough for Clay to come in. That's my goal. That's my job in life, is to open the door for Clay and cut the air conditioner on. That's that. I'm glad I got a job. Anyway, that's going to do it for me, Chip Matthews. I will be back tomorrow morning, bright and early, 6 a.m. You'll be here, so I'll be here. Also, remember, the one, the only, Matt Bishop is coming up next, and he'll have some actual information on what's going on in the world. Maybe talk a little bit about NATO. I know between him and Andrew Gosser, you'll hear about NATO today. You know, Trump just needs to go over there and say, we're out of here, and we're taking our money with us. You know, oil prices are dropping. Gas prices are still up there. The world of money is what's corrupting us all. They did that huge reset with COVID, and now they're trying to figure out another way to reset the world with the wars. And Trump ain't playing their game, and it's messing them up. If you had a weak president, we'd already been destroyed by the Muslims. Yep. And the communists, the socialism. It's all out there for us. It's all out there for us. Correct? You believe me? I hope you do, because it's the truth. Okay, y'all come see us for lunch today at the reservoir, at the restaurant. Thank everybody who came out for the 4th of July weekend and enjoyed everything. Thank all of those who came out and enjoyed the Trump vodka. We still got some Trump vodka left. You can come out and get you a Trump Bloody Mary or a Trump Martini. A lot of people on social media on the Beethoven's page hating because we put up a picture of the Trump Martini. And they were like, you can't do that. That's wrong. That's wrong. That's wrong. We won't come in there at all because you've got Trump in the house. I got a picture of Trump in the front lobby. You can get your picture made with too. And I'm going to get me some Trump scarecrows and put them around the lot to keep the Democrats away. It's insane. Insane. But anyway, that's going to do it for me. I will see y'all back tomorrow. I've said bye like 5 times. This time I really, 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 really mean it. Really, I mean it. I'm out of here. Clay Edwards will be back tomorrow morning bright and early at 7:07. We'll see you later right here on WYAB. See you.